Family, welcome to our coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft. Appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. How you guys feeling? We have a poll question that I need you to get active in immediately. Will Ty Simpson be drafted tonight? Yes or no inside the comment box. So far, you all are feeling pretty optimistic. 81% have former Alabama quarterback going number one, or in the first round, rather. We know who's going to be number one, right? It's already picked. Fernando Mendoza, right? Good evening to everybody. I appreciate you guys getting checked in. Thank you so much for joining us on this program. We're going to have fun, I promise you, okay? So, got a lot in store tonight. This show will be action-packed. Spent a lot of time today putting this show together. So, really, really excited to discuss the 2026 NFL Draft. Of course, it's on ABC. It's, of course, on ESPN, but I'm glad that you're here with your boy, Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Clearly, one of the main storylines and the first player to go off the board tonight is not from Alabama, but someone that Alabama did face, and that is Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza, we saw him, right? And he sliced up Alabama in the Rose Bowl. And I'm not sure, fam, if you saw earlier today when he did an ESPN interview, he was wearing, it was interesting because he was wearing a Rose Bowl hat, or a Rose Bowl shirt, was it? And he said that that's because of the game that really put Indiana on the map. Man, I was like, was that a shot at Alabama? I don't know. When you look to Fernando Mendoza, clearly he's a guy that the Raiders have wanted and has picked number one, and the pick is about to be in any minute as the NFL Draft had just started. And as you get checked in, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. If you like the graphics, if you like the audio, if you like the production, please let me know inside the comment box. Put a lot into the show. And a guy like Fernando Mendoza, I think, is the guy that the Raiders certainly need, right? And when you look to kind of his production score and the strengths of him, right, we'll kind of read him out on the left. Elite accuracy with few misses to open targets. Anticipates and attacks the teeth of zone coverage. Layered throws, touch into tight windows, strong 4-game stretch against competition. And that's really something that sold me on Fernando Mendoza towards the back end of the year. I was curious to see how Fernando Mendoza would fare against Ohio State. That was kind of one of the games that I was like, okay, let's see what he can do, right, against Ohio State. And the guy came through with big play again and again. And I think the one game that I kind of rewind to was against Penn State, right? They had to come from behind, and he threw that big touchdown pass. He came up with big plays. He really did. And I think that his wide receivers were fantastic as well. He had 3 wide receivers, and I feel that his wide receivers were better than ours, okay? And that's not often you can say that another program has better wide receivers than Alabama, and it was certainly Indiana this past season. So when you kind of look at Fernando Mendoza, and I think Ephraim is a fan of the Raiders, how do you feel about Fernando Mendoza? And do you think he's going to be productive? I think one of the great things with the Raiders is you have Ashton Genty. Now you have Fernando Mendoza, where you have a couple weapons to work with at the wide receiver position. I think kind of the areas to improve kind of here in the center are, I didn't feel, and I know he had a couple plays this year that were impressive to me where he kind of, in the championship, right, he scooted for a touchdown. But I don't think that he has that much, he doesn't have elite level mobility. That's kind of the one area. But I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not going to hate on the guy. I do feel that he's a quality person. I don't think it's a show. I think he is a really good person. In fact, do you see this? He's not even in Pittsburgh tonight for the NFL Draft. I believe that his mom, right, she has some sort of ongoing medical situation, unfortunately. So Fernando Mendoza, he's not even in Pittsburgh. He is at home, right, with his family down in Miami. And I think they're just enjoying the NFL Draft, and he'll be picked here momentarily. But appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys for checking in. And as we have everybody that's getting checked in. Remember, the show is powered by PrizePicks. And I'd love for you guys to check out a new feature that PrizePicks has, and it is Team Picks, okay? So here's kind of the interface right here to this side of the screen over here. And you can do this right now on your phone. You download the app, PrizePicks, use the promo code, which is HMA. It's always in the description box. And you can check out Team Picks. And what I have right now is basically a sample of what it looks like on your phone. And Ty Simpson, right? That's kind of the big question that everybody's asking is he going to get drafted in the first round? So those are the type of options. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Definitely check it out. And sign up for PrizePicks with the promo code, which is HMA. Get $50 in lineups when you play $5 plus lineup, right? More or less. Check it out. They got some great features, and tonight is a good opportunity to get your feet wet with PrizePicks. So definitely check it out. Use that promo code, which is HMA. Please support the sponsor, which supports me, and I really appreciate that. So again, check out Team Picks for tonight's NFL draft. So, but I want to give some shout outs as we wait for Fernando Mendoza to be drafted. How's everybody doing tonight? And I appreciate you guys rolling through on the evening show. You guys like the setup here that we have? I was watching earlier today, Nick Saban. And, man, he's the GOAT at everything, right? And I'm sure, some of you are watching him on the background. I think he's on ABC tonight. And I thought there was some really funny moments, and we're still waiting for Fernando to officially be drafted by the Raiders. But I thought it was, they have 8 minutes to draft. The draft literally just started. But did you see when Saban Ryan Day was asked about the setup for Caleb Downs when Caleb Downs went to Ohio State, and Ryan Day was like, man, well, and Saban's in the middle of this, right? And Ryan Day's like, well, when Caleb Downs got here, he was a complete mess. Of course, he was like messing around, and Saban, had a good laugh at it. But look, Caleb Downs, out of all the transfers that have left, right? That has been the most impactful. There's no way to be like, okay, yeah, we're fine. No, that was as bad as it got, was losing Caleb Downs. And there hasn't been another transfer, and in my opinion, that has been that impactful. But with the Raiders being on the clock, clearly they're going to choose Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza at his house with his team, his family, and I'm happy for him. I don't think I could hate on Fernando Mendoza. That'd be a hard dude to hate on, right? You go inside the scouting report, grades out at 86 overall, 6'4", 236 pounds. As I mentioned, the guy had a fantastic season, and he had fantastic wide receivers, and they did work. That's why nobody at Indiana, even, listening to their defensive coordinator recently talk, nobody had to say anything, right? The scoreboard spoke for itself. So is the pick in? We're 2 minutes in, right? So I appreciate you guys being here. How this will work, we will keep everything updated. Hopefully we get some Alabama guys sooner than later. But I'd appreciate your guys' feedback to get active inside the comment box. I'll have graphics. I'll have everything that you need tonight regarding the NFL draft, and really excited to be here tonight. So there'll be some interaction. Maybe we'll open up the call-in line, and if you want to, ask me a question or bring something up, it doesn't even have to be really NFL draft. You know how we do it here. I mean, if you still want to talk about yesterday's events, and that's regarding the payday. I mean, Alabama got that Morgan Wallen money and spent it fast. It was like they got, you know what I'm saying? It's like you get your first check. You remember when you had like your first job, right? Like your first real job, and you got like your check. Some people save it, right? Some people spent it on a car. It was like Alabama waited, and then and I don't know if that happened, but it seemed coincidental that they had Morgan Wallen come in, and 2 days later, everybody's getting pay raises. I don't know. It seemed interesting to me. And next week, what I'm going to do, I've already been working on this, but I'm estimating on how much Alabama is paying the players, because I calculate that they're paying the football roster close to $30 million, right? I think they're paying the players, the team, probably $25 million as well. So we'll do that next week on the show. Waiting for the Raiders to make the official pick. It will be Fernando Mendoza, and it looks like the pick will be in soon. All right, let's see if we got the pick. It's got to be in. I mean, the Raiders are going. They're shaking hands. They're getting excited. I'm not mad about the Raiders being in Las Vegas either. I think it's kind of cool. The Raiders have bounced around. They got clearly a global franchise. They got weapons. Here's Mendoza waiting. I think the pick is in, right? What's up, Army? 3275, J-Rock City. Let me know where you're watching from, too, inside the comment box. And I'll keep you guys posted, too, on Wake Up Bama because we might be late tonight. So, maybe we might have an off day with Wake Up Bama tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. All right. I'll go ahead and say that the pick is in, right? Should we just say, is the pick in? All right. No, we're still waiting. Jamie Parker says he feels bad for Fernando. Why? I look, this guy, the season that he had, the funniest thing was him going to LinkedIn. Did you see this? Did you see that story? Fernando Mendoza doesn't have any type of social media account, right? But he has LinkedIn, and he kept on updating his LinkedIn profile, open for work, but he would put just won the Heisman Trophy, just won the Big Ten championship, just won, you know what I'm saying, this and that. And he said that he still has open for work, but clearly not in 2 more minutes, all right? The pick is in. Okay, the pick is in. Someone said they're coming from the 505. I know that's New Mexico, but we got the pick is in. The pick is in for the NFL Draft 2026. Who's it going to be? Looks like it's going to be Fernando. The pick is in. Fernando Mendoza is the number 1 pick in the 2026 draft. No surprise. Okay. How would you assume Fernando Mendoza has just been picked number 1? How do you feel that Fernando Mendoza's career turns out in the NFL? Do you think that he'll be successful? Yes or no? I don't, the Raiders are interesting. I mean, does he go to the Raiders and does he make an instant impact? I mean, I don't know. I think he goes there and he elevates the program. I mean, how could he not? Here comes Roger Goodell. He's going to read out the pick. Fernando Mendoza, the first pick of 2026. It's not like I'm going to root against him. I kind of look at it from a fantasy football perspective. Would I choose Fernando Mendoza on my team? I don't know. Pick is in. It is Fernando Mendoza. Hugs his mom. He's not at the draft, which is interesting. This is the first time I've never seen the first round pick, right? Not at the draft. And he stayed there to be with his mom and his family, which is understandable. So that we're seeing him via satellite. He has the Raiders hat on. He hugs his grandpa, his abuelo, right? And that's it. And he sliced up everybody. The poll question for tonight, too, is will Ty Simpson be drafted in the first round? All right. Once we get past Fernando, we'll move on with the show, but let's let him have his moment. He sliced up a lot of teams. And as I said, I wasn't a believer, okay? And in fact, if you kind of compare Ty had that better first 8 games of the season. He really did. But when I started to believe in Fernando was that Penn State game. And then Ohio State, I was like, okay, yeah, this guy's good and his receivers are really good. And then clearly became a believer when he did damage to Bama. And then, he did the same thing against Miami. So, Fernando Mendoza, your number 1 pick to the Raiders. Do we have any Raiders fans inside the comment box? All right, so the pick is in. The Raiders have taken Fernando Mendoza. All right, so kind of looking at the board, and look, we have a lot of fancy graphics tonight. I'm telling you, family. Here is the draft board. So coming up next, you got the Jets, you got the Cardinals, you got the Titans, the Giants, the Browns, the Commanders, the Saints, the Chiefs, and the Giants. That'll round out the top 10, okay? That's round 1. First pick is in, and that is Fernando Mendoza. I think as we look to other storylines tonight, is here are the Alabama players that could be drafted within the next couple days. And as I bring that to the full screen and while we wait for the Jets, who are now on the clock, you have Ty Simpson. And let me know, you guys like the graphics? Are they easy to read? I want to make sure that everything is very cohesive for you, that you guys have a good experience on the show always, right? So the Alabama players that are eligible for the 2026 draft, Ty Simpson, Kaden Proctor, Jerry Bernard, LT Overton, Justin Jefferson, Tim Keenan, Parker Brailsford, Damani Jackson, Deontay Lawson, and Josh Cuevas, all right? And it looks, if you follow mock drafts and if you kind of follow all of this, it does seem that we're kind of a bubble with 2 players, that being Ty Simpson, that being Kaden Proctor, later in the draft. So this could come a little bit later. I do feel that Ty Simpson will go tonight if I had to pick. I think it'll be later. I don't think it'll be this next pick by the Jets. I don't feel it'll be the next pick after that with the Cardinals. And I'm happy about that. I don't feel that him going to the Jets would do Ty Simpson justice. And we'll have to kind of see how it fares out. So we might have to wait a little bit later to go off the board. Not mad about it. I don't know where Kaden Proctor is going to go. I've seen mock drafts that have him 25 past. So we'll just follow that. I was looking at this graphic, which is just incredible. And I even have to zoom in because there's too much data on this. But this is kind of just a snapshot of some of the guys that have been drafted from Bama in just the first round. I mean, let me just read out some of these names, and we'll come back to this every once in a while, and I'll give some shout-outs inside the comment box in just a minute. And it looks like the Jets pick is in, but you got Tyler Booker, Jahad Campbell last year, the year before, J.C. Latham, Dallas Turner, Terrion Arnold, Will Anderson. It's unbelievable, you know, how many guys have been pumped out, right? But the pick is in, and let's see who the Jets got. All right, let's see who the Jets pick. Now, it could be that it is Ty Simpson. All right, now, I've seen him go later. It would be shocking right now. But they could very well pick Ty Simpson, okay? He met with the Jets many different times. Let's see what happens. Roger Goodell at the podium. Appreciate you guys being here. The pick is in. And David Bailey has been picked, okay? So David Bailey is the pick from Texas Tech, okay? So now we move on to the Cardinals. And I kind of sense a little bit of relief in that aspect. I really do, because the Jets need a lot of work. And I don't want to be the quarterback there. And I definitely don't want to see Ty Simpson be put in that position. It would be worse than when Bryce Young went to Carolina. It really would, in my opinion. It's going to take a long time to be able to get there. Actually, let's look at Ty Simpson and kind of zoom in a little bit on him, and then we'll come back. Cardinals are now on the clock with 5 minutes, and we'll update that ticker as well, as we do have 2 picks in. And as we go full screen to Ty Simpson, hey, we'll look at the scouting report. And if you guys like the graphics, if you guys like the delivery and everything, please let us know inside the comment box. Give a thumbs up. Looking at Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, who could very well go right here to the Cardinals. I mean, this was a team that he met with frequently, a team that needs a quarterback, right? Team that has older quarterbacks. I could see it making sense. Does anybody feel that he goes number 3 right here? He could. I think the strengths, as we kind of look to the lower left, and I'll read it out because I think that font might be a little bit small, but he did have that 4-game stretch against Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, where he was fantastic, right? He looked like probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've had in quite some time. I think he does have really good footwork. I think that he hasn't even displayed his overall athleticism, in my opinion. I think that he has really good mechanics. I think that he has a great sense of progressional reads, and he's really good under 20 yards. I think the areas to improve, right? He really only has one season. I think the deep ball for me just wasn't there. And the criticism that he did get from under NFL draft analysts is that he held the ball for too long. So, that's why I was kind of surprised. And his overall score is 74, which is pretty good, right? But I think that when you look to Ty Simpson, I do feel that he'll play in the NFL. I don't have him as a day one starter. That's why, I'm with you, Don. What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. Could Ty go here? Yeah, Cardinals need a quarterback. Will they maybe pick him later? Probably. And I think he goes as a number 2 quarterback. And that's fine. And I'm saying, the second quarterback wherever he goes. He's going to learn. And I really feel that if he displays his athleticism and his deep ball is there in the NFL, he'll be a dangerous quarterback. The upside with someone like Ty Simpson is really good because he's going to be a great addition to the locker room, right? I mean, he's just a quality individual overall. So let's see who the Cardinals pick. I don't think it'll be Ty. I think it would be too early. Is there anybody inside the comment box that feels that it could be Ty? All right. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to say no on this next pick for the Cardinals. They have 2 minutes to pick. So we'll see, and we'll keep you guys posted right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And I appreciate you guys joining us on the program if you guys are joining our broadcast. And I'll give some shout-outs in a minute. I got a lot of things cooking right now in the hopper as we're covering the NFL draft. And I'm trying to give a really good product. So thank you very much for joining us on our presentation. And we have just under 2 minutes for the Cardinals before they make their final pick in the first round. You guys doing all right tonight? Yeah, it's been good to kind of go over the draft. I've never covered the NFL draft before. This is something that is kind of new, but as we get into new spaces, I figure we get on tonight. Hopefully, we get a couple guys to go in the first round. I was looking at that graphic, and I'll bring it up later on. There was times we had 8 guys in the NFL draft in the first round. 8, right? Isn't that the record? I think we have 8. We're tied with Georgia, right? All right. Let's see. The pick is in for the Cardinals. All right. The pick is in for the Cardinals. All right. Waiting on the pick of the Arizona Cardinals. Like you guys said that you don't expect it to be Ty Simpson, but there's a lot of talk with the Cardinals, right? And maybe on the back end, that'll be a team that he eventually lines up with. I think we have a birthday. Do we have a birthday? Is it we got the clubhouse. He says Lucas has his birthday today. All right, Lucas, what's up, man? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. The night of the NFL draft, man. But you know what? It's your day. Seriously, Lucas, all right? So your birthday outweighs the NFL draft, man. So we hope that you have a fantastic birthday. We hope that you're eating cake, and we hope that you had some ice cream. Do we still do ice cream with cake? Is that do you guys do that out here? I haven't been to a birthday party. You know what? I haven't been to a birthday party in too long, right? Isn't ice cream and cake is a thing? Is that national? All right. So happy birthday, Lucas. And the pick is in from the Cardinals. Let's see who How come Roger Goodell always gets booed? Hey, every time he comes up, man, I don't know if I could live like that, man. Every single day he's getting booed. Okay, here he goes. Jeremiah Love. Ooh, man. You know what? I love this pick. Can we get a thumbs up for Jeremiah Love? You know what? This running back, man. Whew. Okay, Notre Dame. I got a lot to say about Notre Dame. If you've caught my shows, the way I feel about Notre Dame, it makes me so mad that they're not in a conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's kind of like they found a loophole to get into the playoffs. And I know they didn't get in the playoffs, but you get what I'm saying? But as I watched Jeremiah Love, man, you can't hate on the game. He's a fantastic running back. And if you are a fantasy football player out there, you know that you need running backs, right? You know it. And he should definitely be on your board to be able to get Jeremiah Love. I think he presents everything that we love about running backs. I think he's absolutely talented. I think he's all-purpose. I think that he will be a fantastic. The Cardinals got a good one there, 100%. I think that this was a really big pickup right here. And look, I didn't have much to say about David Bailey. That was just, we're talking about something else. But I think Texas Tech clearly proved they went to the transfer portal and they're here because of the amount of money that they have, right? And it's interesting to see Texas Tech now in the mix. And I think it's going to be, kind of a usual thing right now because of the funds that they have. Jeremiah Love taking number 3. So appreciate you guys rolling through. And to recap the NFL draft so far, as we go into the 4th pick, the Titans are on the clock with 4 minutes. You got Fernando Mendoza. You got David Bailey going to the Jets out of Texas Tech. You got Jeremiah Love, who is just drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. Right? So the Titans are on the clock. And as we're looking at the Titans and waiting for the Titans to see who they pick, I have to tell you again about PrizePicks. Okay, so PrizePicks, the presenting sponsor of the show, use the promo code which is HMA in the description box, and we're trying to push out team picks. So this is a new feature. So on your phone, when you download the app and use the promo code which is HMA, you tab over to team picks, and for this example, you have who will be the second quarterback taken in the NFL draft. And you got Ty Simpson, you got Luke Altmaier. It's fun to play, easy interface, PrizePicks. Check it out, especially tonight on the NFL Draft. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Sign up for PrizePicks with the promo code HMA. Get $50 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5 plus a lineup. Use that promo code, which is HMA. All right? So, again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I saw, give a couple shout-outs. We have Miss Debbie Hansen coming in. We have Army 3275. We got J Rock City. We got Jay. We have Tonette Turn Up. We have Anna from Atlanta. We have Kenny Grant. Kenny Grant, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. We got Jay. What's going on, Jay? I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for being here. We have Braden M14. We have Ramajammer. What's going on? We have Don Hancock. Good to see you, Don. We have Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa, what's up? Appreciate you joining the program. We have NorCal MAGA. What's up, man? Good to see you. And you know what, family? I've kind of been toying with this idea, and you guys can help me out. We're waiting for the Titans, and it looks like the pick is in. But kind of messing with kind of moving that 10 a.m. show to the evening or kind of later in the day, and kind of letting Wake Up Bama, breathe a little bit. So always open to feedback. So that's kind of something that's on my mind. But the pick is in for the Titans. All right, so we're waiting on the next pick, which is from the Tennessee Titans. Do we have any Tennessee Titans fans in the house. You know what? The Titans, I don't know. The thing with the Titans is I kind of feel a couple different ways about the Titans because I had Cam Ward on my fantasy football team. And he did absolutely nothing for me, like nothing. And I'm not salty at the Titans. What I learned about the Titans as I watched them with Cam Ward is, number one, Cam Ward, I don't think was fully ready to be a starter. I think he did grow up last year. But I do feel that he also didn't have a lot of different weapons. So, we'll look at kind of the best available on the board after the Titans pick, but I would like to see the Titans maybe add some arsenal for him to connect to. I don't feel that he has a lot of options. Ramajan was talking about the Houston Oilers. I remember when they were the Houston Oilers too. Remember Warren Moon? Man, Warren Moon was fantastic, and I'm not just talking about on Tecmo Bowl. All right, so here's the pick. Roger Goodell, the Titans. Carnell Tate, okay. Wide receiver. And just as I said, what did I just say? I just said that I would like to see them load up with some weapons. Carnell Tate. Because I felt, J-Rock, I was telling you, bro, when I watched him last year, I wasn't overly impressed. Man, there was times he had like 2 points fantasy-wise. Maybe 3. Maybe 10. Maybe he started playing a little bit better on the back end of the year. This is a good addition to the Titans organization. I think the wide receivers out of Ohio State have been proven. They're really good. And I really like this pickup from the Ohio State. So Ohio State picks up Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State, and the Giants. All right, the Giants are up next. All right, let's kind of look at best available as we kind of, look at the board, and we'll look at real quick at the Alabama Crimson Tide members who could be drafted over the next couple of days. Of course, we are watching Ty Simpson and Kaden Proctor tonight on this broadcast to see if they are drafted in the first round. Arizona has been kind of the place that people think Ty could end up. I've heard some talk about even Pittsburgh, maybe Pittsburgh kind of jumping in. But I think when you look to guys who might be best available on the board, and let me know if you guys can read the graphics, if you guys can see them. I'm always open to feedback inside the comment box. Put a lot into the show, and I appreciate you guys rolling through tonight. But some other guys, on the board, of course, Fernando Mendoza went off the board. David Bailey off the board. Jeremiah Love off the board. One guy I think could be coming up soon with the Giants, and it looks like the pick is in, could be, I'm dead serious. Caleb Downs, man. Caleb Downs is that guy. I know another guy out of Ohio State. We'll just have to find out, but it looks like the pick is in for the New York Giants. I don't know if the next pick is going to be Caleb Downs, but I think if you're a team like the Giants, and I'm thinking about who they do have a good quarterback. You know what? I think Jackson Dart is going to be a really talented quarterback. I think they have some good weapons on the outside. I think they have a good running back. He was just banged up. So I kind of look to the defensive side, and I don't know which way that the Giants want to go. I'm trying to think who's in their secondary off the top of my head. But Caleb Downs will be hard to pass up right here at the number 5 spot. And that would be back-to-back guys going from Ohio State, which isn't surprising. I mean, there's going to be so many guys that go from Ohio State to the NFL draft. I mean, they're just kind of rolling at this point in time. But Caleb Downs, I think, would be a really good addition after David Bailey being off the board. Other guys I'm thinking that could be Sonny Styles, who's also from Ohio State. You have Delane out of LSU, but I think you go with Caleb Downs before that. I don't know. We'll find out. But I think the Giants, Man, it must be tough to be a New York fan of any sort, right? I mean, I guess if you're a Buffalo fan, you're straight because the Bills, I mean, they're absolutely loaded with James Cook and Josh Allen and all the weapons that they have. But I think when you look to the Giants and the Jets, man, tough sledding. So the pick is in for the Giants. We'll see who they pick up. Is there anyone else, fam, that you think might be kind of one of the guys that is taken from the defensive side? I don't know. It seems to me like Caleb Downs is the guy I'd go with right now. Maybe, you know what? I guess it could be Ruben Bain, right? Miami. Man, Miami had some guys. The thing about Miami is they had a pass rush, right? They had an absolute pass rush. Hey, they're taking a commercial? We don't even take commercials, right? How could they do that? How could they take commercials? All right, let's look at the best on the board for the quarterback position. Okay, so I don't know how many I don't think, in my opinion, it doesn't feel like this is the strongest quarterback class, right? I mean, Fernando Mendoza, I don't want to take anything away from him because I'm completely sold on him. But after Ty Simpson, here's other guys that are on the board. Garrett Nussmeier, are you serious? Carson Beck, Drew Aller, right? Taylor Green. I mean, seriously, what other is this? Is this? Do you agree with me? Is this like a terrible quarterback class? I'm just calling it like it is. Do you? Right? I don't know. James Williams, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Kenny Grant, what's going on, man? Juan Rogers. Oh, you want to see the pharmaceutical? I have it somewhere. I haven't busted out the in a little bit right here. All right, let's see if we can get it up. This is the commercial that I usually rock with. That's when I do my chemical. Be sure and check out Kyle's chemicals. Just kidding. Man, but I really like that beat, man. Right? Doesn't that beat go hard? The Giants pick is in. We're waiting for NFL, I guess ESPN to come back. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, running backs. All right, we got Jeremiah Love. He's been taken off. And then you also have Price, who's also from Notre Dame, who I think was really good as well. I mean, that was a hell of a combo. I just felt, and look, I just felt that Notre Dame, I wasn't sold on them because they lost 2 games at the beginning of the season. I don't want to get into the whole thing where I didn't like them. But the thing that I was having such a hard time with during the college football season is that they lost to Miami and that they were still ranked ahead of Miami up until the back end. You know what I'm saying? Hornsby saying, hey, Kyle, what's the name of the new website again? Oh, Bama Football Roster. All right, I'll link it inside the description. Bama Football Roster. Yeah. You can, that website's tight. I'm telling you. Right? Okay. So here are the running backs. Mike Washington Jr., Singleton, Emmett Johnson. I mean, I don't even know how I feel about that running back room. The tight end room. Yo, Kenyon Shadiq. This man is a nightmare. And so is Stowers. Yo, these 2 tight ends, fantastic. It looks like the pick is in for the Giants. Let's see who the Giants get. All right, waiting on the Giants pick. All right. Let's see who we got. Oh, man. I'm hoping it's Caleb Downs. Do you guys feel it's going to be Caleb Downs? Oh, I don't. Have you guys seen the new Wake Up Bama, what is it, the intro? I'll play it after the Giants pick. Man, I love that song. It starts the day just right. Yo, Stowers is a monster. And you know what's crazy is I think Sadiq is better than him. Sadiq had like a 45-inch vertical. You know how crazy that is? Man, God. Me being a Niners fan, I mean, we got Kittle, but those are guys that are just freaks. Here the Giants pick. Okay, so they went with the linebacker, right? Arvell Reese out of Ohio State. Look, really good pick right here. I knew it'd be, I figured it'd be someone on the defensive side when I started thinking about the Giants' offensive setup. They don't need pieces on offense. The Giants really don't. I think where they need is guys on the defensive side. So, they pick up Reese from Ohio State. And look at it so far. Out of the first 5 picks, right, 3 out of the 5 are from the Big Ten, right? This is kind of interesting too, fam. And this is something to think about, all right? This is the first time we've ever had a $1.45, $1.45 super chat. I think that's the first time in the history of the show, right? We never had a super chat. I didn't know you could be that specific. All right, man. $1.45, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And get you on the board right there. Let me ask you a question. As you look at the big board, okay, right here, we'll call this the big board. And thanks for the super chat, man. $1.45 goes hard, man. Love it. Do you feel, okay, how about this? Are you surprised that the Big Ten has 3 out of the 5 so far? Like, what I'm saying is, that the SEC doesn't have a guy yet. And I think that's kind of like the narrative out on the national scene is that the Big Ten is the conference. I appreciate it, dog. Love you, man. Man, spending your last penny, dude. That's what's up, man. It's early. I'm just saying. I mean, that's something that stands out. There's got to be someone from the SEC coming soon, right? All right, so it looks like we have the Chiefs have a pick that is in, all right? So the Chiefs are on the clock, all right? So we got to update this real quick. The Chiefs have updated, all right? So be right back in 2 seconds. The pick is in for the Chiefs. All right, let's see how we handle our first trade. I'm excited to see how we handle this as an operation in-house. We're anticipating a couple trades, but to have the Chiefs jump up. So did the Chiefs just basically swap with the Browns? Is that what happened? Okay, all right, no doubt, no problem. All right, we'll cover it as it happens. All right. We'll say stand by. Okay. So the Chiefs have traded spots in the first round with the Browns. Okay. All right. I have no idea. Let me think about what the Chiefs need. Oh, man. You know what? Okay. How about this? I know exactly what the Chiefs need. The Chiefs need, I would go with the tight end. Knowing kind of that Travis Kelce is kind of, on the back end of his career. Do you guys like that? I don't know if we have any Chiefs fans on board. I would look to Sadiq. Look, I'm telling you, man, Caleb Downs would be a great look. I'm never going to say Caleb Downs wouldn't be a good pick. I'm just thinking about kind of their roster from an offensive standpoint. I don't know what they have on defense. I wouldn't be mad at Caleb Downs. I'm just thinking Okay, so they're explaining what happened right now. The Chiefs got the 6th overall pick. The Browns received 9, a 3rd-round pick, and a 5th-round pick. Okay, so let's see what happens. We're covering it as it happens. All right. And let's see what happens as the pick is in with the Chiefs. A lot of people saying Caleb Downs inside the comment box. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. And that would be another guy, right? Another guy from Ohio State. Okay, here's the pick. Here comes Roger Goodell. Appreciate you guys joining us tonight. The pick is in. Okay, wow. They took Mansour Delane out of LSU. Interesting. Now, look, Delane is a top 15 guy, absolutely. I guess they felt that they needed a corner more than a safety. I'm a little bit surprised by it. I don't know. Chiefs fans, how you feeling about it? All right. You're talking about a 5'11", 190-pound corner out of LSU that is now taken. Are we good on that? Perfect. Okay, great. Okay. I don't know. I figured if there was a DB that would go next, it would be, and there's our guy from the SEC, right? So here we are at a full screen set, and it's the first guy from the SEC that comes off the board in tonight's draft, right? And I think when you kind of look at the board right now, and you saw that the Chiefs have just traded to get Mansour, that's a little bit more surprising. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I guess you still the thing is, Caleb Downs is still on the board. I was thinking as I started kind of looking at the best on the board, and we'll go to that screen here in a second. I love somebody like Shadiq. So let's see. Hey, Don, you're speaking. I'm saying the same thing, man. You trade up for Mansour. I don't know about that. Where are my Chiefs fans? Do you guys like that? I didn't like that. I don't know. You know what? That was the first pick that I didn't necessarily like. Okay, here's what we're watching from an Alabama football perspective tonight. Ty Simpson, Kaden Proctor. The next couple days, I'm not going to be live tomorrow night because my daughter, Lacey, will be having her first performance. It's opening night, and she's in the Sound of Music. So Sound of Music, watching my daughter, or the NFL draft, there's really no comparison for me. I'll have the rest of my life to cover the NFL drafts, but I love watching those performances. So if you're a parent out there, you know what I'm talking about. But we'll have after we get back or whatever, or the next day. But parenting is my number one priority, 100%. All right, so we got, let's see, second round. Okay, here's some other guys that are still on the board. Let's see. I know the big tackle out of Miami. He'd probably be the first tackle, I think, right? And then Caleb Downs, as we've been discussing. We got to update Delane. He's off the board, so we'll scratch him off. Ruben Bain would be a hell of a pick, too. I mean, that he should be coming off. And then Malachi Lemon, right, out of USC. He's another top wide receiver. So we got three guys from the Big Ten. We got one from Notre Dame. We got one from Tech, the Big 12, and we got one from the SEC. All right. So let's see. The Commanders, it looks like the pick is in for the Commanders. The pick is in for the Commanders. I think with the Commanders, I'd probably go with somebody on defense, right? I think they've done a great job, Washington, in terms of building up arsenal on offense, right? They got offensive weapons. They got receivers. They got a damn good quarterback. Yo, you know that Jane Daniels is him. And I know it's a really big comparison, but I see a lot of similarities with Jane Daniels and Keelan Russell. I really do. And that's just not picking a quarterback out of thin air. I think they're comparable. I do. Somebody on defense makes sense here for the Commanders. Is that? Man, Bobby Wagner was a monster. Right? Whew. I'm saying definite someone on the defensive side. J-Rock City, man, we're going to be saying Caleb Downs every single time, right? So next up is the Commanders. And here's the pick. Pick is in. Sonny Styles, a linebacker out of Ohio State. Man, Ohio State has 3 guys that have went off the board. So Sonny Styles is the next guy off the board. And when we go full screen and we look at the monitor of the NFL Draft Tracker in the first round, we have 4 guys right here in the first 7 picks that have been from the Big Ten, right? And Ohio State has 3 of them. Indiana, Fernando has the other one, right? So Sonny Styles, man, you watch this guy's tape. I'm sure you're watching it right now. He's a menace. And do we have, you know what? Do we have linebackers like this at Alabama? Right? Man, you know what? Kind of switching gears and talking about Bama's inside linebackers. I do feel that this coming year we have an athletic bunch. Now they're inexperienced, but like I'm telling you, Daryl Duke Johnson, it's going to be hard to really hype him up because he just doesn't have a lot of playing time right now. He is super athletic. He's already a guy. I think you also have, man, they're comparing Sonny Styles to Brian Urlacher. Whoa, that's crazy. Brian Urlacher, one of the best ever, right? I also like Luke Metz. I also like Caleb Woodson. So we haven't seen these guys play yet from the inside linebacker position, but I do like what we got. Looks like the pick is in as well, in the Saints up next. All right. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Really appreciate you guys joining us for our NFL draft coverage. This is our first time streaming a watch along and, put a lot into the presentation. I always want to do something that you guys can enjoy and make you guys feel comfortable at home inside the comment box, but also I want my performance to be up there. So thank you very much for kicking it with me as always, and put a lot into the graphics, into the editing and all that sort of stuff, because I want you guys to have a great product. So hope you guys are having a good time tonight. The pick is in for the Saints. Before we get to the Saints, definitely want to remind you to check out PrizePicks, okay? Use that promo code, which is HMA. It's inside the description box. Really pushing the team feature. So when you download the app, go over to team, you can tab. And for example, you got Ty Simpson right now. Will he be the second quarterback picked in the NFL draft? Check it out. PrizePicks. Use that promo code, which is HMA. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Sign up for PrizePicks. Use that promo code HMA. Get $50 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5 plus a lineup. That is PrizePicks promo code, which is HMA. All right. And so we're waiting on the pick from the Saints. And all right, so let's think about the Saints. Okay. Okay, I know. I kind of have a funny story about the Saints. So I made my fantasy football championship, okay? I was in 2 leagues. I made it in both. I love fantasy football. One of my teams absolutely cooked. The other one, I made some trades. I got there. But I did the stupidest thing that you could ever do in the championship game. And you know what it was? I played. This is so embarrassing to admit. Now, here I am saying fantasy football, that I'm good at fantasy football. I played, God, this is so embarrassing. I played Taysom Hill in the championship game as my tight end. Taysom Hill. You know how many points he got? 0. And I lost. And I deserve to lose for the choice that I made. All right. So when I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking like this, if the Saints are still playing Taysom Hill, then I absolutely know that they need a tight end. Okay. So, we look to the tight ends that are on the board. There's plenty of them. And I think you could choose Stowers or you can go with Sadiq, and I think you'd just be fine. Are they going to go with the tight end? See, Bama. Yo, Bama, what's up, man? Good to see you inside the comment box. Yo, I had 0 points, and I lost the championship. So, do they go with the tight end? Where are my Saints fans at? What do the Saints do? And every time I talk about New Orleans, all right, I always have to mention the fact that I love New Orleans. I love the Big Easy. In fact, next time I go out there, I'd like to have kind of a round table. Maybe we go out, eat some oysters, something like that. I love New Orleans for many different reasons, okay? I love the music. I love the nightlife. I love the oysters. That dingy smell of, it's like, how would you describe it all around? It's like alcohol, weed, pee, nastiness. You know how it is. But it's just like, I feel that the main reason I like it is because of the resiliency of the city, right? People could have left. People could have bounced out, right? You know how impactful Katrina was. But they chose to stay. I mean, some people left to Baton Rouge. Some people left to Houston. People left all over. But they, a lot of people stayed in New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Anyways, just had to give a little shout out to the Big Easy. All right. Dan Caraway. Dan, it's Dan's birthday. Dan is the first guy to get a double happy birthday shout out. Okay, so you share the same birthday with Lucas. Lucas was on earlier. But it's Dan Caraway's birthday. So Dan, giving you a double shout out, okay? It's rare, but not as rare as that $1.45 super chat that we got, which we're grateful for. But Dan, you're a strong supporter of the program. We love you. We appreciate you, man. You said you're going to New Orleans soon. Enjoy it. Where are you hitting up for your oysters? You hitting up Dragos? Yeah, and New Orleans dangerous. Everywhere is dangerous, right? Tuscaloosa is dangerous. But that's why you have to watch how late you stay out. That's how I think you solve a lot of these issues, in my opinion, in my 42 years. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy yourself and then go home and go to bed. All right, the pick is in. Wait, someone said something about the Saints. Okay, look, my boy Antonio, what's up? Saints fans here. Tight end is definitely needed, but I think they will get a lineman to get rid of Cam Jordan. Okay, so let's see what happens. Here comes Roger Goodell. Come on, let's get a little pep in your step, man. Roger Goodell kind of slow, man. He looking like my little Frenchie who he doesn't go anywhere. Hey, Tonette, turn up. What's up with the $4.99 super chat? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you, Tonette. I really appreciate you always being here, too. That's why we say Tonette, turn up. All right. All right. So the pick is in for the Saints. Let's see what we got. The Saints are up next. Oceana for oysters. Okay. We'll check it out, man. Appreciate it. All right. Here it is. Agent, what's up, man? Appreciate it. Here's the pick for the Saints. Oh, Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. Okay. Yeah. All right, Antonio, how you feeling about this? All right. How you feeling about Jordan Tyson? I think when you look to wide receivers, clearly he's one of the top dogs, right? I mean, you have Malachi Lemon from USC and you have Jordan Tyson. I think here we're looking at the big board right here of just the wide receiver room, right? Carnell Tate already went off the board. You go to Tyson from Arizona State, and then probably, Malachi probably go here in a couple picks. 6'2", 203 pounds, a guy that was super productive at Arizona State. Arizona State, they've had what? They had Cam Scatterboo last year. They've had some offensive weapons, and I think they returned a couple guys. I mean, I love their head football coach. Man, look how much separation he has right there. That's not a bad pick. How you feeling about it, Antonio? I don't know. All right, so that is what pick was that? Yeah, that's our 10th. That's our 8th pick. So Jordan Tyson goes to the Saints, and we'll go with our full board. Yo, this is kind of, I mean, maybe it doesn't mean anything, but the Big 12 right now has more picks in the first 10 than the SEC. Just kind of interesting, right? Antonio likes the pick, all right? And we like that because he's a Saints fan, and I think they needed some wide receivers as well, right? Someone on the offensive side for the Saints, all right? And the Browns are up, and the Browns are always entertaining. We have no idea what the Browns are ever going to do. Pick is in for the Browns. I don't know. Somebody said J-Rock was saying who's going to throw in the ball. Are you talking about Jordan Tyson? Man, he's in tears up there. I'm going to tell you this, man. The Saints quarterback, Tyler Slow, I'm a believer. I think he's young, but I think he's really talented. Do you guys agree with me on Tyler Slow, New Orleans Saints? Man, I had him on the back end of the season when he had opportunities because I had him on the bench for a while. And then when they gave him some reps on the back end, I was pretty impressed. If I'm a Saints fan, I'm excited about Tyler Slow. I am. All right, let's see what the Browns do. You have no idea what the Browns are going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns pick like Ty Simpson. The Browns. Maybe I could see them doing something really smart or something really dumb. It's either going to be one or the other, right? Let's think about the Browns. What do they need? God, the Browns need so much. Man, I'd hate to be a Browns fan. I don't know. Do they go with who do we have on the board? We got nice super chat from Anna. Anna, what's up? Thank you so much. She says, thank you for the draft watch along. I appreciate you providing great commentary and insightful information. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Anna. I really, really do. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. Big supporter of the program. And thank you so much. I don't know where that went. I thought we had it on the screen. Yeah, thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. Oh, man, I don't know what the Browns are going to do, Don. What do you think, bro? Okay, let's go look who the best on the board is. Where's that graphic at? Maybe I'll put that graphic right behind. All right, looks like we have 30 seconds before we find out who the Browns are going to go with. All right. I don't know who these guys, what they're going to do. All right, let's see this. Okay, Caleb Downs. Ruben Bain, Malachi Lemon. It could be a tight end. What do you guys think? All right, we got Jay. What's up, Jay? Jay with the super chat too, man. We got all the usual suspects. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Jay says, Raider Nation. Yo, Jay, do we have to name you Jay Mendoza? Raider Nation. We're going to end the Super Bowl. Wow, man. Within 3 years. Okay, we'll see. Here's the pick. The Browns. Spencer Fano, a tackle out of Utah. That is a big human being. Did we have him on the board for tackles? All right, let's look if we had him on the board for tackles. Uh, is he out of Utah? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Spencer Fano. Wow. Yeah. He's out of Utah, right? Okay. Man, Utah has two guys on the board at tackle? Is that right? Man, this guy is an absolute monster. Look at him. I didn't know if he'd go this early in the draft, but man, credit to him. And you know what? I understand why the Browns did this. The Browns did this because they have all these quarterbacks. They're trying to protect them. I get it, right? Yo, Alabama CFC with the hot take. He's saying that Mendoza is not an NFL quarterback. Man, that's wild. Oh man. Thanks for the comments, bro. Good to see you, by the way, Jay. Okay, it looks like the Giants pick is in. All right. So we got another pick from the Giants. You know this is gonna be Caleb Downs, right? And the Giants have just drafted Francis Mauigoa. Did I get it? Out of Miami. We knew the big man would go at some point. And the Giants now with two picks in the top 10, one from Ohio State, one from Miami. All right? Man, so the Giants with two picks, and they still need a lot of work, man. Is there anyone that's that is a Giants fan inside the comment box? Because you know what? This was a smart move. I mean, they have a really good quarterback. I think Jackson Dart is going to be a fine quarterback, and him and Cam Scatterbo. That, you know what? You're playing fantasy football. I wouldn't be mad if you got each of those guys, right? And don't you have who do the Giants have at wide receiver? Do they have Neighbors still? Let's see. I think they do. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yo, the Giants have Malik Neighbors, Scatterbo, Jackson Dart. Man. Okay, so it looks like do we get a trade right here? It looks like the Cowboys have traded, right? Is that right? Yeah, so it looks like the Cowboys traded, and the Cowboys are up next. Yep. So it looks like, wow, interesting. The Cowboys have two picks now, 11 and 12. Very interesting. We'll update this graphic, but the Cowboys pick is in, and they are at number 11 and at number 12. Cowboys pick is in. That's coming up next. All right, we're waiting on the pick for the Cowboys. All right, waiting on the pick for the Cowboys, who now have picks 11 and 12. And, you know, I was just thinking about the Giants, their offense. Man, that's a pretty nice setup, right? You guys agree with me? Yo, the way that Jackson Dart was able to display his athleticism, he's a really good dual threat quarterback. Brings a lot of elements to the table. All right. So the pick is in, and the Cowboys will have two picks here in the first round for the Cowboys. Okay. All right. Let's get into it about the Cowboys. All right. Do we have any Cowboys fans here? Oh my goodness. The thing about the Cowboys is I do feel that they need to be relegated, right, to like college football. Just kidding. I always talk smack about the Cowboys. Sorry. Okay. The Cowboys, what do they need? Oh, man. Well, Dak Prescott is the most overpaid quarterback in the world, in my opinion. All right. You guys I think you guys have some wide receivers now, right? You made some recent acquisitions. You got some okay running backs, not great running backs. On defense, is Caleb Downs going to the Cowboys? Okay, so Cowboys fans, yeah, there you go. Juan is saying the Cowboys need some Jesus. 100. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. What? Okay, I'm gonna turn it to you. If you're a Cowboys fan, inside the comment box, I'm gonna text my uncle because he's a Cowboys fan. Okay, let me just see what he says. All right. All right, I'm texting. I'm texting my uncle. I'm sorry? I don't know where Miami went. What happened to Miami? Where did Miami go? I had no idea, like, where Miami went. What pick they went. Maybe they traded down somewhere. I have no idea. All right, so it looks like this is out there already. So the pick is in for the Cowboys. We might as well just break the news while they're on a commercial break. You guys ready to do this? The pick is in for the Cowboys. We'll break it right now. I think you guys are going to like it. I like it. The pick is in for the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys with the number 11 pick. Here it is. Formerly at the University of Alabama, then transferring to the Ohio State with the number 11 pick in the NFL draft. You have Caleb Downs, the Ohio State. Melly, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Thank you for rolling up. They're on a commercial break, but the news is already out there. Caleb Downs has been taken at number 11 by the Cowboys. Love it, okay? I hate on the Cowboys all the time. I'm smart enough to know this is probably one of the best decisions that Jerry Jones has made, okay? Caleb Downs is the only transfer to leave Alabama that has really been one to cry about, okay? And Antonio Cook, sorry we missed that super chat, man. He's saying the Giants will be a really solid team. Agree, man, that offense, right? But I think Caleb Downs, man, that's one that you just still think about. It still hurts. And you had, Saban left, and then Caleb Downs left, and this guy's him, man. And you look at all the guys that have been drafted out of Ohio State. Yo, Ryan Day he's cooking, family. He is, right? Look, he had Carnell Tate go to the Titans. He had Arvell Reese go to the Giants. He had Sonny Styles go to the Commanders, right? And then you start out the second half right here with Caleb Downs going to Ohio State. That is one hell of a pickup by the Cowboys, right? So there it is. I didn't see where the Dolphins went, but anyways, what a great pick. Man, Juan Rogers like R.I.P. Caleb. Nah, man, he's gonna flourish. He's just too good, man. That guy, quality individual, hell of a football player. He even has a podcast. Everybody has a podcast, right? Let's see. No Name. What's up, man? He says, mark my words, Keon Keeley will be the one. You know what? I'm not mad at that. Keon Keeley was all right. Here's our big board right here. Caleb Downs to the Cowboys, all right? Keon Keeley, I felt, and the pick is in for the Cowboys again. Let me play this little graphic, and we'll celebrate Caleb Downs to the Cowboys, and then we'll get right back to it. But the next pick is in for the Cowboys. All right, so the Cowboys have just drafted Caleb Downs, and it looks like number 12 is the Dolphins. So the Dolphins in at 12. All right, so I thought the Cowboys, I was like, the Cowboys have 2 picks back to back. They don't. The Dolphins are at number 12. So their pick is in. So we'll get that up just momentarily. But Caleb Downs, with Caleb Downs going to the Cowboys, what do the Dolphins need, right? What would you guys say that the Dolphins need? I don't know. You know, I think that, what happened to our ticker? I think when we're looking at the Dolphins, first of all, remind me who the Dolphins have as their quarterback, because it's no longer Tua, right? So they don't have Tua. Tua's now with the Falcons. Who is the Dolphins quarterback? No, I'm dead serious. I completely I'm spacing on this. Okay, Cody's saying Malachi Lemon to the Dolphins. Yeah, because I guess they got to get rid of Cheetah, right? Yeah, I know Tua's in Atlanta, but who is the quarterback going to be with the Dolphins? Oh, Quinn Ewers. Oh my goodness, yuck. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know how good he is. What do you guys think? I don't know. All right, so the Dolphins up next. Let's see who the pick is in for. Caleb Downs still at the podium. Love this dude, man. Yeah, I appreciate you guys rolling through again. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, next up, you have the Dolphins in at 12. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. Here we got some breaking news. There's some news real quick. There's a big update, okay, that following the Dolphins, you got some really, really big news coming in. Let me see if I can confirm this real quick. All right, 1 second. This is regarding Ty Simpson. Stand by. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay. So, hey, family, get ready. The pick is in for the Dolphins. I think you're going to like this one. The pick is in for the Dolphins. Coming in at the number 12 pick out of beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The Dolphins have selected Kaden Proctor. Kaden Proctor, University of Alabama, goes number 12. Number 12, Kaden Proctor. The big man has gone number 12, okay? And I think you're going to like number 13. So stay close by. Stay close by for number 13, okay? Because I think the pick is going to be in shortly. Kaden Proctor going to the Dolphins. Yo, you know what? How do we feel about this? I felt that, look, I had to be real with you guys. I feel like with Kaden Proctor, when he left Alabama, I don't think that a lot of people felt, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, because I felt like people really didn't like him as much as they could have, right? That he never really reached his ability. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it, family. Maybe we felt that Kaden Proctor was never properly developed. So which means that he still has really high ceiling, right? Is that what it is? Because look, his offensive line coach got fired. Maybe that's it. If I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm happy about this. And as a fan, somebody that covers Alabama football, I'm happy about this, right? I think this is a good pickup for the Dolphins. I'm not mad at this at all. I think that even I can see Alabama fans inside the comment box being excited about this one. All right? Yeah, not mad about it with the pickup. All right, let's see who this next pickup is. All right, I think you guys are going to like this one. Okay, we'll go ahead and do the pick is in for this next segment because the Rams pick is in. You're going to like this one. All right, so Kaden Proctor comes out on board, and coming up soon, the number 13 pick is in, which is the Rams. And the next pick is coming up. Okay, Rams fans, what do you guys need? What do you guys need? What do the Rams need? All right. We're going to cut a video together shortly. All right. This one's going to be good. We're going to have to do some editing together, so you're going to have to stand by. But the Rams are up next. The pick is in. And Kaden Proctor just went number 12 to the Dolphins. And coming up next is... Man, Kaden Proctor's emotional. I got it, man. It's a big deal. Coming up next, the Rams. Who did the Rams draft? Right? Who would you guys say? All right. The Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. And they beat a couple good teams along the way, right? Who do we got for the Rams? Trying to figure it out. I don't know. All right, I guess it's coming up next. Man, just stay with us, family. I think you guys are going to like the next pick to the Rams. All right. 1 second. I think, when we're looking at other players in the draft, I mean, clearly the one that we're waiting on is Ty Simpson. And would it make sense? Would it make sense for Ty Simpson to go to the Rams, right? You know what? I said this a long time ago. The perfect team for Ty Simpson to go to would be a team like the Rams. Because I think that when you look at Matthew Stafford, right, getting a little bit older within his career, I think he's doing a great job. But I think, right, I mean, he's 38 years old. So I think when you look at a guy like Ty Simpson, he doesn't have to go there and be the guy right away. You see what I'm saying? And I think he learns from a very good quarterback. And that would be a really good pick. So let's see if it comes out official. But the next pick will be for the Rams. So stand by. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much for joining the program. as we cover the NFL draft right here on Bama Football on YouTube, waiting for the Rams, and the pick is in. Do you guys think it's going to be Ty Simpson? Yes or no inside the comment box. I could see why it makes sense. I really could. All right. And they're on a commercial break right now. So just stand by while we wait for that info. I hope you guys have enjoyed the program tonight. Like I said, I've never covered, the NFL draft. So hopefully that, it's making sense and our delivery is good and we have everything buttoned up. I think I'm ready to go forward with it. You guys cool? We can go past the commercial. You guys ready? All right. Pick is in. All right. Pick is in for the Rams. All right. So everybody is sane, and we'll wait for it to be absolutely official. But the next pick, well, this looks to be off, but it looks like the Rams pick is in. And should we go with it? I guess we just wait for Roger Goodell. I promise you, we're close. All right. Looks like Roger Goodell coming to the podium. All right. I have a feeling. Okay. All right. It's official. All right. So Ty Simpson has been drafted by the Rams. All right. So it's official. Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback, has been drafted by the Los Angeles Rams. All right. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, there was questions that he'd be in the back end, but the Rams with the pickup, and they take him at number 13. I know up top it says 26. I'll fix that in a second. But let's cut a video real quick because this one's a big one, and let's discuss it. So this would be a live cut. So let's do it together. 3, 2, 1. With the 13th pick in the NFL draft, the Los Angeles Rams have selected Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson was kind of a bubble pick by some going into this NFL draft. He is the second quarterback taken overall in the NFL draft, following Fernando Mendoza, who went number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders. Pick number 12, another Alabama player by the name of Kaden Proctor, who went to the Miami Dolphins. As news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for watching this video. We'll catch you. We are actually live right now covering the NFL draft. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. All right. So thumbs up inside the comment box. You guys, give me your level of excitement inside the comment box for Ty Simpson on a scale of 1 to 10. I say 10. I mean, look, this is a guy who clearly deserves it. This is a guy who I think, what's interesting, man, a Tennessee boy going out to Los Angeles. That's going to be interesting for him, right? I think he'll do fine. And I think this is really the perfect landing spot for somebody like Ty Simpson because he's going to learn behind a veteran quarterback and then be able to take over an organization that has a really good defense. I think what Los Angeles has going on with the Rams, I mean, they're certainly trending up. Think about this. He's going to, at some point, be able to work with Puka Nacua. They have to get a couple more weapons, I think, on the offensive side. But, no, I'm not mad at it at all. All right, I got to do a couple housekeeping things on the back end. You're going to hear some audio as I cut this video, as I'm going to do a million things at the same time. But, yeah, the pick is up next. We'll do a 14th pick, and then we'll kind of get into it, and then we'll continue with the show. So you're gonna hear some audio on the other side. Just hang tight. 13th pick in the – all right. Okay. Updating this. All right. Oh, let's see if I can do this quick, family. Oh, okay. I see what happened. All right. Hang tight as I Okay, he is pick 13. I like it. I like the pick. And I say this without knocking Ty Simpson. I think that I feel he's closer to his ceiling. And I think that just means he's ready to play. I don't think that he's going to get way better in the NFL. Like somebody whose ceiling was high was like Jalen Hurts. He had to work on his craft to get where he's at. I think Ty Simpson's ready to go. I don't think he's ready to go right now, but I think maybe after this year, he'll be good to take over the program. So big pickup for Los Angeles. They have a reason to be excited. The one thing that I want to see from Ty Simpson at the next level is certainly his deep ball. I want to see him utilize his legs too, right? I want to see what he can do, and I'm happy to see it, man. Couldn't happen to a better person, to be honest. Says all the right things. He's the right person. I mean, he's an Alabama guy through and through. The guy didn't sell out. He could have sold out, right? He could have went a lot of different places. He didn't. Big pickup for sure. So next up, the Ravens, and it looks like that pick is in. Let me finish up this Ty Simpson, and then we'll get things going. Yeah, we have good chat numbers, too. I appreciate you guys coming through. I hope you guys like all the presentation and all the graphics and stuff like that. We're trying to make sure to deliver a really good broadcast for y'all. And this one was a big one, too, for sure. So Ty Simpson to the Rams. And up next is the Ravens. Do we have any Ravens fans inside the comment box? I'm trying to think what the Ravens need. I don't know what the Ravens need. I mean, their offense is getting a little bit older, right? But I think that let's see. All right, let me just do a couple housekeeping things on this other side. What would the Ravens need? I guess somebody on defense, right? You're going to hear some audio on the other side real quick. 13th pick in the NFL draft. All right. All right, Baltimore's about to make their pick as well. Get right to it. Just 1 second. He's getting booed again. All right, pick is up for the Ravens. And they have taken a guard out of Penn State. I'm going to say Oyane. I'm not going to try his first name. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So the Ravens have went with a guard. I guess that makes sense. I mean, look, I just feel like the Ravens are getting a little bit older, right? We get man, whoa. Yo, we just got a super chat from our boy Michael, $50, and he says, so happy for Ty and Bama. Hey, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate that, Michael. You are always a strong supporter, bro. Inside the comment box, I really appreciate your generosity. Yo, and whether you're out there $1.45, $50, I really appreciate you guys in doing that, and thank you so much. Ty Simpson goes number 13 to the Los Angeles Rams. All right. Feel good about it, right? And looks like the Buccaneers are up next. Buccaneers up next. Buccaneers. I don't know. What do the Bucs need? Maybe some offense, right? I think the Bucs could probably use. I know Mike Evans now with the 49ers. They could probably use some weapons, right, on the offensive side. Do we have any Bucs fans? All right, cool. Thank you. 13th pick in the NFL draft, the Los Angeles Rams. All right. All right, Buccaneers picks up next. Almost done with this, and then I'll get back to the show. 1 second. Yeah, and thanks again, Michael, for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate it. Okay, so Buccaneers, Jets, Lions, Vikings, Panthers. Our two guys from Bama off the board, so feel good about that. You know, I was wondering, I was like, are we going to go the whole distance without having guys, to Bama? And that certainly wasn't the case, right? And I do have to say, are you a little surprised, I guess, that they went so early? I guess I am. I didn't really think that I kind of felt that it would be later, but I think the Rams did a great job. This is who they needed, and we kind of moved forward. So Ty Simpson to the Rams, Proctor to the Dolphins. Yeah, love to see it. All right, so Buccaneers, Jets, Lions, Vikings, Panthers, Cowboys, all up next. Now, I appreciate you guys kicking it with us again. Bama, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. He says, I was worried about Bama fans' first-round streak. Me too. I mean, that's a streak that you don't mess with. Okay, let's think about next year, because I don't think there's going to be any other guys drafted from Bama in the first round. We can look at other guys that could be potentially drafted from Bama. Let's see. Where's that at? Okay. These are other guys that will be on the board tomorrow and, of course, on Saturday as well, right? So Simpson gone. Proctor gone off the board. We got Jeremy Bernard. Do you guys think that Bernard's a second-round guy? Could he go tomorrow? You have LT, I guess, is a second or third-round guy. Parker Brailsford could be second round. Damani Jackson, second. Look, I said this, and it wasn't that popular of a take. And we don't often look. You can say whatever you want inside the comment box. I'm cool with whatever you have to say. And there's not many times that we disagree too wildly on things. But I said this, and let me ask you this inside the comment box: who is your sleeper out of all these players? It could even be Ty Simpson. It could be Kaden Proctor. But out of all these guys on the board, who is your sleeper kind of player from Bama? Good night, Army. I appreciate you, man. Get some good rest. I'm going to say, and this wasn't popular. I said this earlier today. My sleeper, surprisingly, is Damani Jackson, right? I know you're probably like, what? I just feel that Damani Jackson is a player that I felt at times he came with the thumps. He wasn't properly developed, right? I think we had some fans earlier on the show that were talking that he wasn't properly developed. He wasn't terrible, in my opinion. All right, we got Tim Keenan. We got Deontay Lawson, Josh Cuevas, Tim Keenan. A lot of people talking Tim Keenan for sure. Cuevas. Ty, yeah. And I say Ty as a sleeper because I don't think, even though he's a second quarterback taken off the board, I don't think a lot of people were like, he's going to be like a starter, right? Hey, I know what IKR means. I know, right? I know that because Lacey taught me that. Keno says Cuevas is better than a lot of people think. All right, the pick is in for the Buccaneers. All right, the Buccaneers are up, and let's see what Boris has to say. Saban still gets credit. He's smiling in ABC's draft coverage. Good. Yeah, you know what? That's Saban's guy. Ooh. The Buccaneers, there you go. They got Ruben Bain Jr. Oof, man. Yeah, Josh, we had Notre Dame's running back. He went in the first 10. This is a good one right here. Ruben Bain. That's a good pickup. So Ruben Bain, edge rusher, right? Picked up, big pickup. No, I like that. If I'm a Buccaneers fans, I'm really excited about that one for sure. 100%. That's one of the better ones. Next up, we got the Jets on the clock. And to kind of recap, in case you guys missed, the first round pickups, I'll show that as well, just to keep tabs. And we have the Raiders went with Fernando Mendoza. We had David Bailey go to the Jets. The Jets are up next. In fact, their pick is in. We'll get to that super chat in just a minute. Cardinals went with Jeremiah Love. Titans, Carnell Tate. And the Giants went with Arvell Reese. That's kind of to round out the top 5. If you want to screenshot that graphic, that's cool with me. And then where we're at right now, we're about to be in pick 16. And we have the Cowboys, Dolphins, and really the Rams all going with guys that originally started at Bama, right? Think about that. There's a point for you. Because Caleb Downs, he started at Bama. Kaden Proctor. Kaden Proctor even went to Iowa for a little bit, then came back to Bama. Ty Simpson never left, though. So now we're waiting on the Jets, and we have a super chat, and that's from Gelato. What's up, Gelato? Appreciate you, man. Can't wait to see round robin of Ty versus Mac versus Tua versus Young versus Mac versus Milrow. Man, I love that. That's crazy. That's a lot of quarter. Look, Mac Jones, and I'm a 49ers fan, but Mac Jones, he needs to go somewhere else so he can be the guy. I think if he went to the Vikings, he'd be perfect. All right, the Jets pick is in. Let's see what the Jets do. All right, waiting on to see who the Jets go with. All right, so we got Jets. This will be their second pick in the first round. Let's see what we got for the Jets. Do we have any Jets fans? What's up, RTR? Waiting on those Panthers. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the Panthers do to build around Bryce, right? Maybe something on the defensive side. They got him some weapons on offense. They really did. Chargers have another pick at 22, Keno points out. Man. All right, so the Jets are up next. Let's see. In their first pick, they took David Bailey out of Texas Tech. Okay, is that all Jets fans? Surely not. Why is that whole section green? I think it was just the lighting. Okay, their next pick at 16. I don't know. The Jets fans need a lot of work. I don't even know what you do if you're a Jets fan or what they do. So here's Roger Goodell. Let's see what he could do. Marshall, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. 16th pick. Ooh, man. Ooh. Kenyon Sadiq to the Jets. Okay. Look. How can you be mad at this pick? Okay. Good job. That's the right pick for anybody. I don't know who's going to throw him the football. This guy, man, oof. He had some of the most – so Kenyon Sadiq to the Jets, he had some of the most ridiculous measurables. 6'3", 241, 45-inch vertical. He ran like a 4.4 40 time. I'm telling you, this guy, he is a wide receiver, tight end, running back. He's kind of a player that we really haven't seen yet. Like, he's a player that is kind of like on a next level. And what he's able to do, he's going to play immediately, clearly. He's going to be an impact player, clearly. They just got to get him the football as many times as possible. And if you're a fantasy football player out there, you pick this guy up as soon as possible, okay? Like, wherever you're at in your draft and you're thinking about maybe Notre Dame's running back, right? You got your choice, Jeremiah Love. You go with Sadiq. And look, they're going to have to get him the football. This is a guy who probably gets, 50, 60 touches. Remember Brock Bowers' initial season? That's kind of what it'll be like. They're going to go to him so often. He's going to be their entire offense. That's what they needed. Look, the Jets have a lot. And even with this, they still got a lot of work to do. But that is a damn good pickup. And anybody, him going to 16 is an absolute steal. So getting David Bailey, getting Kenyon Sadiq, really good pickups for the Jets. And they still got tons of work to do. This doesn't fix anything by any means, but they didn't mess up. They didn't mess up at all. All right. Looks like the Lions pick is in coming up next. Welcome back, family. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today. I really appreciate you guys being in our corner and supporting us, whether we're talking Alabama football, whether we're doing Wake Up Bama. Have you guys seen the Wake Up Bama? So if you're new here, if you somehow found us, if you're an Alabama football fan, if you're not, we have a daily podcast that goes out. All right. It's called Wake Up Bama. During the season, it's usually about an hour long because there's so much to discuss. During this time of year, 25 minutes, 20 minutes, somewhere around there. But I developed a new song, kind of the opening. Have you guys heard this song? Yeah, we'll play it here in a second. Has anybody heard this song? Is the Wake Up Bama song? Yeah? Can we hear it real quick? All right. Let's do Wake Up Bama. I'm trying to find the intro for it. I don't know where it went. Is this it? Oh, this is it. Okay. You guys ready? Okay. If you missed it, I like the song. It's Wake Up Bama. It makes me feel good. We'll get to that super chat here in a second. This is the promo song Wake Up Bama that starts off, right?
Wake up, Bama fans, from coast to coast. Time to kick this day off while you eat your toast. Coffee hot, day is young, get the mood just right. Kyle vibing positivity all day and night. It's the Bama show where your day begins. It's the Bama show where it all begins. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this show. This is God's day, so let the good times roll. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kyle Henderson of Wake Up Bama.
So there you go. So that's a way to start out your day. So 4 a.m. podcast rolls out. Is it tough to be consistent? Yes. It's tough to be consistent at anything, right? That's why I think it's so amazing for all these content creators that have recently started, their YouTube channels, or they cover whatever they cover. It's cool because, they want to be in that space. And they get a chance to prove their consistency and performance. And I think that's amazing. And this super chat is really amazing by AE Videos for $20. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But they get a chance now, all these YouTube channels that have started, to be consistent and to perform at the highest level, right? And what it takes to be a full-time content creator, what it takes to step on the stage every single day and deliver a high-level product, not to just mail it in. I'm talking about every single day. I'm talking about covering news all the time at the highest level, right? putting on a polo, looking nice, looking the part, right? It takes a lot, man. And I think that, as you get to see more people out there in the space, you get a taste of what people are bringing to the table. Love to see it, and I think it's amazing. So just I encourage you to check out Wake Up Bama, and now the pick is in for the Lions. The Lions are a dangerous team. Dangerous. Let's see who they pick. The Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs and that squad. If you're a Lions fan right now, this is what you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for these years, right? Poor Barry Sanders had to carry the team for the decade or whatever it was. The Lions are a contender 1,000,000%. I think even with Montgomery going to Houston, I think that just elevates Gibbs. I mean, you look at the wide receivers that they have, J-Mo. You look at St. Brown. I'm going to say somebody on defense for the Lions. You got Branch, right? I'm going to say, let's see, 17th pick. Okay, so they go with the tackle, Blake Miller out of Clemson. Okay, yeah, protect some of those offensive weapons, right? Not mad at it. I don't know. You can't go wrong picking a tackle. I mean, it all starts in the trenches, clearly. I thought they might go in the defense. Probably doesn't matter, but Blake Miller is the pickup from Clemson. So Vikings on the clock. The pick is already in for the Vikings. Let's see. The Vikings are pretty good too, man. A lot of those teams, like the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, man, the only team that's kind of on the struggle bus, in my opinion, is the Bears, right? But all those other squads are really, really talented. Looks like the pick is in for the Minnesota Vikings. Remember, we got Will Riker over there? We got Dallas Turner, right? They should get Mac Jones if they really wanted to kind of elevate. Pick is in for the Vikings. All right, the pick is in for the Vikings. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the Vikings have, what they don't have. Man, I'm trying to think. Their running backs are getting a little bit older. Could they maybe get – but you're not going to take a running back in the first round. And I don't even know if there's a running back worth taking. Maybe Notre Dame's, second running back. I don't think they do that. I don't know. I'm curious about this one right here. Let's see what they find. Okay, Roger Goodell's up. Pick is in. The Vikings. Caleb Banks, defensive tackle, Florida. Okay, they went with someone on the defensive side. I had no idea what the Vikings were going to do, but I know that the Vikings they're a tough squad. Really good defense. I mean, this is obviously another good defensive component to add. I was trying to think about guys from the SEC and the Big Ten. Let's count them up real quick. We've had 18 picks. Okay, from the Big Ten, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 so far from the Big Ten. Let's do the SEC. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 7 so far from the Big Ten, 4 to the SEC out of 18 picks, right? ACC, let's see. Did we count that right? Let's see, 1. Yeah, I think we did. Okay, so ACC, we got 1, 2, right? 2 from the ACC. It's exactly like the playoffs, right? All right, so we got the Panthers coming up. You got Panthers, Cowboys, Steelers. All right. For the Panthers, it's been a great story to watch Bryce Young. Am I right? Like, the great thing about Bryce Young is he was put in a really difficult situation with the Carolina Panthers. He didn't have an offensive line. He had the weapons that he had were older, right? Over the course of the last, couple years, the Panthers have kind of given him a couple weapons. Mechie, one of them. Who's their other wide receiver that they got last year in the draft? He's fantastic. And they've built a couple other weapons. They've given him some running backs, so much so. And I think Bryce is getting a little bit more comfortable. And the great thing about Bryce is, despite his size, and there's been a lot of naysayers about his ability, he's still a magician, right? And he's elevated the Panthers. I don't know what you do here because I still feel that they need a lot of work. But I do feel at least they've given him some weapons to work with. Who do you guys think the Panthers go with? And it looks like the pick is in for the Panthers. And if you're just joining us, Beth, this is to you. Ty Simpson, he was drafted. You are right. He was drafted number 13 to the Rams. And a lot sooner, him and Kaden, a lot sooner than people thought. They kind of had him either on the back end of the draft or maybe even a day 2 type guy. But he goes to the Rams. I thought that's a fantastic landing spot for Ty Simpson and Kaden Proctor. I think, seeing him go at number 12 is great. So Bama's still going in the NFL. Bama still has first-round picks. The streak continues of sending guys in the first round. And I think I have another graphic on here that kind of showcases other guys that we're watching from Bama. Here it is. These are probably more day 2 guys, I would imagine. But just to give you kind of a reference point, if you want to screenshot and, maybe, if you're tracking the NFL draft, you got Jerry Bernard, probably day 2 guy. LT Overton, Parker, Damani, I guess. Deontay Lawson, and a lot of you were talking about Josh Cuevas. Yeah. And Jen is asking if Carson Beck in the draft. Yeah, here's kind of a look of some of the best available, and we'll continue to update this, but there's been 2 quarterbacks that have been taken, Fernando and Ty. Garrett Nussmeier, Carson Beck, Aller, Tylen Green, right? These are some quarterbacks that are still available. From the running back perspective, there's only been 1 running back, which is pretty common for the NFL draft, right? There's not a lot of running backs that are going to be first-round type guys. I mean, Jeremiah Love is a special type of running back and one that does warrant to go in the first round. From the tight end perspective, I would say right here, woof, man. You know what? What if the Lions got Eli Stowers? Ooh, family, how would you feel about that? This guy, okay, look, Kenyon Sadiq is him. Stowers is fantastic. I don't know what Carolina does right here, but now kind of looking at the board, am I agree? Do you guys agree with me about Stowers? Okay, here's the pick. Panthers. They went with the tackle as well. They went with Monroe Freeling out of Georgia. There's been a lot of tackles that have gone on the board in the first round. And, of course, a tackle is a position where, you're definitely going to need a lot of the guys. And when you look to this board right here, you see that we have 4 tackles that have been taken in the first round, right? Monroe literally just getting drafted and going to Carolina. So they wanted to protect Bryce. They need some new guys. Well, Monroe Freeling from Georgia, and that is the 5th guy from the SEC to be drafted in the first round. So Georgia going to Carolina to protect former Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. Love to see it. Not mad about it. And it looks like the pick is in for the Eagles, and can't wait to see who the Eagles pick. So it looks like the pick is in for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so the pick is in for the Eagles. Let's see who they take. Curious to see what the Eagles do. I think when I currently think of the Eagles and what they bring to the table, man, it's a lot. They are so talented from a defensive perspective. They're so talented from an offensive perspective. I mean, Jalen Hurts and Barkley are a hell of a combo. They got wide receivers. They got everything that you need. And the number 20 pick is Malachi Lemon. This is an interesting pick right here. Okay, so the Eagles have taken Malachi Lemon, wide receiver, out of USC. Okay. You kind of look to the Eagles and what they have at the wide receiver position. They got A.J. Brown, right? They got Smitty. And now they bring in Malachi Lemon. Are you surprised to see Lemon go into the Eagles? It's a good pickup, clearly. I mean, he's an absolute baller. But, do you think that kind of means writing's on the wall with A.J. Brown? Because maybe that's what that means, right? So AJ's gone. Is AJ already gone, or is that like going to happen? Okay, he's getting traded in June. I was wondering about that. I was like, does that mean that AJ's gone, right? Okay, so someone's saying Crimson's saying AJ isn't leaving, but hold on, Angel, because I think with them going after Malachi, that's probably what it means, right? But it hasn't happened yet. Is that what you guys are saying? Because when I look to that wide receiving unit, I mean, AJ is clearly number one, which means, is Malachi number one? Is Smitty now number one? I don't know. Smitty's great. And Smitty's going to, me personally, I'm not drafting Smitty on my fantasy team unless he's kind of like there. AJ Brown is clearly the guy to get. But now I have no idea where where is AJ supposed to go, fam? Do we know? Is there anyone that, do we have a suspected place, landing spot for AJ? I'm interested in that. And I guess I remember that there was kind of some dust up between AJ and, was it the OC or the head coach, right? They didn't like each other. I remember some of that stuff, but it makes sense now that they got Malachi. Okay. Makai Lemon, USC. New England. I like that for New England. Yeah. Drake May needs some weapons. Yeah. No, that's good. Okay. I like that for sure. Yeah, thanks, family. Okay, looks like we got the Steelers up next. Here's the big board, how it looks. Yeah, and I love the NFL. And I play fantasy football. I've really gotten into fantasy football the last couple years, right? I enjoy playing. That's basically how I've gained a little bit more knowledge on the NFL. It's just because following Alabama players and then of course playing fantasy football. If you play fantasy football, you clearly just learn about the NFL a little bit more because you're always watching your guys and you start to see how they perform and stuff like that. In the league that I have, we don't play with a defense. We basically have two flex, and which opens up your offense and makes it pretty competitive. I play in was there 10 in my league? I think there was either 10 or 12. There might have been 10. All right, so we got the Steelers. I don't know what the Steelers do. Let's see. Older quarterback, older wide receivers. I feel like the Steelers need some playmakers. Yes, Mendoza went number one. Here's picks 1 through 10. I'll go through it real quick. Yeah, we could do a fantasy league on here. I wouldn't be mad at that. Okay, so here's picks 1 through 10. I'll just kind of go through the top 5 real quick. Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. You had David Bailey to the Jets. You had Jeremiah Love to the Cards. You have Cardinal Tate to the Titans. And you have Arvell Reese to the Giants. That's kind of 1 through 5. You can see the rest. One of the big ones was the Chiefs traded up to get Mansour Delane, LSU. That was an interesting one. I don't think they really had to trade up to get that, right? And then 11 through 20 is where we're at right now with Makai Lemon recently going to the Eagles, and you guys brought it to my attention that A.J. Brown on his way, it looks like, to New England, which I think is a good fit for A.J. Brown in New England. I think that's a good addition for the Eagles. So I don't think the Eagles lose out. I think the Eagles are still going to be there. The Eagles are they're so stout. And a great story with the Eagles has really been following Jalen Hurts, right? I mean, we love Jalen Hurts as a person. And when he was here, he wasn't the quarterback that he is today. And that guy's always working on himself. He speaks like he's a 70-year-old grandpa with all the wisdom in the world. He just focused on himself, and he just balled out. Super Bowl champ, right? I love Jalen Hurts, man. He's a guy, and I love Smitty. I think Smitty he's probably my favorite Alabama player that I covered here. What's happening? Is this like a commercial? What is this? Josh Johnson, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. Willow says this: I like where Downs went, but the Cowboys defense will see an immediate improvement. You know what, Willow? That might be like looking at all the picks, right, on the big board. I don't know what's going on. It looks like there's like they went to a concert or something like that. I think one of the better picks, to be honest, I'm going to go with number 11 right here, Caleb Downs to the Cowboys. I'm going to go with Kenyon Sadiq at number 16 to the Jets. And let's see, I'm going to go with and maybe Ty. Maybe Ty to the Rams. Those might be my 3 best picks so far in the first round. And I don't think I'm like being homerish. I just think that the Cowboys made a hell of a pickup. I'm not a Cowboys guy at all, but I respect the game, man. That was a hell of a pickup. And I think Sadiq going to the Jets is great. And I think Ty going to the Rams is a really good move, right? All right, so next up we got Pittsburgh. The pick is in. All right, so the pick is in. And who we got? Like I said, I think the Steelers need some offense. Am I right? How about, let's see, I don't know if they need a tight end. Stowers would be a nice pickup. I don't know what they're going to do here. There's a lot of tackles still on the board, too. All right, let's see what the Steelers do. Do we have any Steelers fans inside the comment box? Yeah, there is Steelers fans. I think that the Steelers might have the biggest fan base in the world for NFL. I'm serious. It's either them or the Raiders. Cowboys, of course, right? Hey, thank you so much I really appreciate it, man. Thanks, Pat. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Yeah. All super chats go hard. All right, so yeah, another tackle. I'm telling you, there's so many tackles, and that was kind of the storyline was going to be a lot of tackles taken. And you have, I don't want to butcher his last name. You have Big Max from Arizona State, 6'5", 323 pounds. The second player, interestingly enough, from Arizona State, going in the first round. How about that? Yo, how about this? Arizona State has put out 3 first-round draft picks in the past 2 years. That's pretty impressive, right? Man, I wasn't going to try to say that last name. Oof, man. All right, Bama Dave, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Hello. Oh, we got smoothies. Smoothie King. Is that my smoothie? Oh, sweet. Do we do Smoothie Kings? Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Smoothie King. All right. Got the Smoothie King. The pick is in for the Steelers. We'll update that here in just a second. And then it looks like we are on to the next half, which is the Chargers. So it looks like the Chargers are up next. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you guys are having a good time here on the program tonight. We put a lot into it, and, it makes me feel good, honestly, to see you guys on and to guys, see you interacting inside the comment box. And, all here for it. Thank you so much again. I couldn't thank you guys enough. All right. So the pick is in for the Steelers. We'll get that added, and then we'll go to the next round. Do we have any is it Smoothie King, right? Oh, tropical smoothie. Tropical smoothie. Is it different from the one that we had? So, look, I do a smoothie. It's called like a green smoothie. So, it's not like the best smoothie, but it's good. I think it's the best one for you. I don't know. I'm running on two wheels, family, like everybody else. So, all right, Chargers. The pick is in. Let's see what we got. I don't even know what the Chargers need. Do we have any Chargers fans here? I don't. I have one friend that's a Charger fan. Obviously, he's from San Diego, but the Chargers aren't even in San Diego anymore. I don't know what the Chargers need. I literally I don't know what they. This is gonna be completely new to me. I don't know what they do here. Okay, so they went the linebacker out of Miami. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Hakeem Mensador out of Miami. Man, Miami, I'm telling you, Miami, and thanks for the compliments on the background as well. Isn't this tight? Do some night shows, man. Some late night shows. Man, should we just do some late shows, just completely off topic? Right? Not even football, just life, comedy, interviews, right? Popular culture. Doesn't that sound good? I would love to do that. Like a late show with Kyle. No script. Little profanity. Maybe a little adult beverages. I don't know. Who knows? I feel like sometimes it's too uptight, and I think I am certainly A-type. But I'm also cool. So, all right. So the Chargers have made their pick, and I guess we're on the home stretch, family. 23-32. Are we cool with it? Can we do it, man? Those workouts? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going to do for Wake Up Bama, because we got to do Wake Up Bama after this. Josh Johnson says this looks like an ESPN show. Thanks, man. Yeah. Put a lot into it. And I think it's only going to get better. That's why I'm always practicing in April. And one of the areas that I felt that we really did good in was the play-by-play for basketball. All right, so it looks like the Cowboys are up again. Their first pick, they hit it out the park by getting Caleb Downs. Can the Cowboys... Okay, here's the thing. Will the Cowboys make two good moves in the NFL draft in the first round? Can they really do it? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they do something completely off the rails. You know what? They're going to draft Carson Beck or something like that. That's how they're going to equalize this. I'm just kidding. Carson Beck wasn't that bad. What are the Cowboys going to do? Nobody knows. All right. Dennis, what's up, man? Yeah, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and the play-by-play, I'd never done play-by-play, and I loved it. I loved covering the basketball team. It was I really looked forward to it. That was really fun, right? You can have multiple shows all under the same channel. Barstool does. Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to think of like different ideas, and maybe I can explore some of that, April, May, June, before we really kind of get heavy into. I always think of like the start of the season. By the way, Cowboys up next. I always kind of look to the start of the next season in like SEC media days, right? Don is saying, guess the next quarterback taken. Well, let's see. I think we can bring up the quarterbacks right here. So the quarterbacks that are still on the board, what do you think, Don? We got Garrett Nussmeier. I'm going to say no. Carson Beck, maybe. Taylon Green could be interesting. Luke Altmaier, I don't know. People are talking about him. What do you guys think? Yes, and Stowers is still on the board. Yes, here are all the running backs still on the board. I don't know if we've updated this by scratching them out. We've been busy, but yeah, look, Stowers. Look, we've only had one tight end so far. Sadiq, obviously, but Stowers would be a hell of a pickup for anybody. Cowboys pick is in. We have 3 wide receivers that have gone off, right? We've had 4 offensive tackles. Kaden Proctor going to the Dolphins, right? I guess we haven't had a center go off. Oh, we had Caleb Banks on that defensive tackles. Caleb Banks, he went. Oh, Peter Woods is still on there. That's interesting. All right. Todd, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. All right, so looks like the pick is in for the Cowboys, the next pick. So let's see what the Cowboys do. Your guess is as good as mine. Who do you guys think? Post inside the comment box. What do you think? Can you imagine if the Cowboys get Stowers? Let's see. Pick is in. All right, the pick is in for the Cowboys at number 23. Couple more picks to go here on the broadcast. I guess we'll go the length, right? I mean, once you start, you just can't just stop at 27. Hey, you just stop at the 49ers, right? That's the show. Good night. Catch the rest on Wake Up Bama. How about that? All right. Yeah, Carson Beck. Someone said he's getting too old. He's going to be 37 next month. Yeah, 37 years old, Carson Beck. I'm just kidding. He'll be 34. Okay, the Cowboys have drafted Malachi Lawrence out of Central Florida. How do we feel about this? I don't know. I don't know too much about Central Florida. Let's see. Let's run the tape. They're going to run the tape here on ESPN. I'm sure he's a baller. They went with 2 defensive pieces, right? And our boy for life inside the comment box, yes, Ty Simpson went number 13 to the Rams, in case you missed it. And it was right after Kaden Proctor was drafted. So check this out, Code for Life. You had Caleb Downs go 11. 12 was Kaden Proctor, and then 13 was Ty Simpson. So if you want to screenshot this just to kind of look over it, feel free. This is where we're at right now. We're in the third section of the first round, and we have Malachi Lawrence, who is the second player taken from the Dallas Cowboys, following Caleb Downs. And if you kind of rewind to the first couple of picks, you can screenshot this if you want as well. The Raiders drafted Fernando Mendoza, and then following that, David Bailey was the second pick to the Jets. And then Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals. So that's kind of where we're at, in the first round. And we got a couple more picks to go. And then rounds 2 and 3 will be on Friday night. And again, tomorrow night, I'm not going to be live. I mentioned that. It's my daughter's performance night. It's opening night at the theater, and she's performing in Sound and Music. So that is where we will be tomorrow night. Yeah, so Looking forward to that. Opening night at the theater. Are you serious? It'd be great. All right, so next up we have the Browns. Earlier in the draft, the Browns drafted a tackle, Spencer Fano, out of Utah, right? There's been 4 tackles that have been drafted so far, right? Oh, man, Jay Money, I didn't even think about that. Jay Money just brought up a good point. Jay Money says, dang, I have to root against Ty now. You dead serious, man. And you know what? In the NFL, like, you don't play. Like, the NFL, like, yeah, I love my Bama guys, but there is no way that I'm rooting for the Rams when they're playing the Niners. They're just not. The Rams are good. The Rams, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, all those teams are tough to beat, right? Really good coaches. You know, I guess the Cardinals are the one team that kind of needs to kind of elevate a little bit, but maybe they will with their running back. I don't know. All right, so a couple more picks to go. Browns, Bears, Bills, 49ers. Crimson Angel has Alabama baseball up 12-8 over Tennessee. Man, I forgot about Peter Woods too. Yo, Peter Woods was good, right? I'm kind of surprised to see him slipping. I wouldn't be. Let's see. Do I have any other? Okay, Crimson's a 49er fan. Yo, Crimson, what do we need? We got Mike Evans. I feel like we're on offense, so we're definitely going defense, right? The BC's always going for Bama guys, regardless. What commercial is this? This is terrifying. It's a guy without a face. Oh, it's a Joker. Is it the Joker? What is this? Yep, it's the Joker. What is this? Clayface? What? What is Clayface? All right, so Code says, Kyle, I've been wrong. I admit that when I said Ty wouldn't get drafted in the first round. That's all good, man. I think there was a lot of people that felt that there was a chance he wouldn't get drafted in the first round. Don't feel bad about it. I think that he was clearly the next best quarterback, but it's not a strong quarterback class. It's just really not. That's why it made so much sense. You know what? Ty Simpson was really smart. He's going to get way more than that $6.5 million offer from Miami, right? I don't know how much Ty makes going number 13, but he's going to make a ton. I'm not going to lie, that Whopper looks really good. I'm a big Whopper guy. I love Whoppers, all right? Looks like the pick is in for the Browns. Be right back in 2 seconds. All right, welcome back, family. I appreciate you being here. Wow, Dylan Sampson. I forgot about him. Man, they got 2 running backs last year. Neither of those guys played. Quinton Judkins didn't play that much, and neither did Sampson. And they're drafting tonight. What will the Browns do again here at number 24? The Browns do weird things, too, in the NFL draft. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, Ty's going to get hooked up, right? Ty's getting a 5-year contract. Man, yeah, he got taken care of 100%. All right, here's Roger Goodell. Here's the Browns. It's their second pick of the night. Let's see what we got. Ooh, KC Concepcion. Remember this name? I like this pick. This guy, he was a problem at Texas A&M. You know what? Texas A&M has some wide receivers. Even this year, they got Horton, they got Mario Craver. I think they got another guy too. Texas A&M is going to be really difficult to beat. That's a good football team. Really good on special teams. Yo, Casey's good. Remember, we thought that Bama might have a chance to get him last year before he went. This guy's talented, ultra talented. I think this is a good pickup by the Browns. He'll get fed. This could be an interesting. I don't know if I'm ready to pick him on fantasy yet, but he's going to be someone that I have on my watch list. He's dangerous. I don't know. I'm trying to think who else the Browns have at wide receiver. This is an interesting one. And I think the Browns offense is getting ready to kind of turn the corner a little bit because those running backs are going to start to develop. Actually, KC might get fed. He's going to catch a lot of passes, I think. Good for him. This guy's tough, man. Good pickup. Do you guys like this pickup? Yes or no? The Browns don't do a lot of good things, but I like this one here. Next up, we got the Bears with the number 20. 25. Pick number 25. Ooh, man, Spencer Fano and Casey Conception. Yo, yeah, that was a good pickup by the Browns. Oh, they have Jerry Jeudy too. Nice. Yep. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Don. Don's our NFL analyst. Appreciate you, Don. Thanks, man. David says Eagles Mekhi Lemon was a hell of a slot wide receiver. Yeah, no doubt. He's good, man. Arnetta, what's going on? You're a Rams fan. Oh, well, congratulations, bro. Get that jersey as soon as you can. Todd is saying Jerry Jeudy. Oh, my goodness. Yo, they got Jerry Jeudy, Isaiah Bond, and now Casey? Well, Isaiah Bond didn't really do much, right? I mean, we all know Jerry, but that's not a bad little lineup. Antonio was like, they only got Jerry Jeudy and Isaiah Bond. Man, that's a hell of a crew. I forgot about that, man. Wow, Cleveland Dog Pound. Okay, looks like the Bears pick is in. Coming up next, the Chicago Bears. Yeah, did Isaiah Bond do much last year? That's the name we can't really say too much around here, right? It's like Isaiah Bond. He left for the bag. So did Isaiah Horton. Evidently, if you're named Isaiah and you come here as a wide receiver, you just leave to somewhere in Texas for the bag. Isaiah Horton left, and so did Isaiah Bond, right? Yeah, I think he did get into some sort of trouble. I just don't remember him doing much last year. All right. Dennis is like, they have great potential. Todd is saying Kyle Spencer-Fano is an absolute beast. I coach his older brother. Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah, what a pickup for sure. Good pickup by the Rams, or by the Browns rather. Don says Bond caught the 4th and 31 and did nothing after that. Yeah, right. I mean, that's why people don't really. It's funny, like even when they show 4th and 31 here at like the games, they always cut out the catch. It's hilarious. Yeah, maybe Bond. You know what? All that aside, I felt Isaiah Bond when he was here, and I didn't really follow him much at Texas. It didn't seem like he was, doing a lot over there. It felt that he has playmaking ability, clearly, right? I think he'll be good. I think he'll come around. But if he doesn't, they got other wide receivers. So, okay, this is where we're at real fast. A couple more picks to go. We got this is round 1. We got the Bears, the Bills, the Niners, Texans up next. These are some good picks coming up. And then kind of a recap of this first section, 1 through 10, with the Raiders going with Fernando, and then headlined by the Cowboys, Dolphins, and Rams. That was kind of the big storyline of that section right there, was all those guys kind of, Caleb, I still, he started at Bama. Finishing out at Ohio State, really good pickup for the Cowboys. Kaden Proctor and then Ty Simpson going 12 and 13. So a couple more to go. We're on 25 for the Rams, and it looks like the pick is in. All right, waiting on the Bears. I don't know. Ooh, Stowers could be nice to the Bears. That could be a really good addition, right? What do you think about that one, Don? I appreciate you guys staying up with us for the late night as we continue to finish out the NFL draft. The Bears pick is in. Look at that guy's blazer. Man, did you see that? Okay, Roger Goodell's up. Let's see what we got. Okay, Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. I think that's the second guy from Oregon off the board, right? Okay, so they went with the safety. You know, Oregon's been sending out a couple guys. I don't know how I feel about Dan Lanning, right? Like I kind of feel this about all Big Ten teams. Like clearly they have guys. They're sending out guys to the NFL. I mean, this is another guy from the Big Ten. But I think that the Big Ten has an advantage each year because it's not as deep talent-wise as the SEC, like team for team. You know what I'm saying? So I do wonder, and those teams would be good in the SEC, I get it, but I don't feel that they play in that kind of the weekly grind once you start playing like SEC games. Like you got Northwestern, come on. You got Rutgers, come on, right? Some of those teams, I'm like, you pull up like Indiana's schedule, they play Ohio State, they play Michigan, but they got a lot of gaps in there where they can rest their players, right? So they're good football teams for sure, and they're coached well, but they also have more opportunities to rest their players, whereas in the back end of Bama's schedule or the back end of some of these SEC schedules, you don't have any time to rest your guys. And adding on a ninth game in the SEC and then having the SEC championship game, it's an absolute grind. So by the time you get kind of into the playoffs, I mean, college programs are banged up, right? I don't know. But Dan Lanning sends another one in the first round. So looks like the Bills are now on the clock. The thing with the Bills is, these guys are so good, right? I mean, would you guys say that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL? Is that like off base? I mean, every single time you look at this guy, I mean, he's constantly putting up these ridiculous seasons. I mean, you could never put away the Bills. They got weapons. I think it's the most challenging place to play at deep into the season because you're playing in like 5 feet of snow. I don't know what the Bills do, but the Bills are constantly good, constant contender, tough to beat. I'm surprised they don't have Super Bowls, but maybe that's just not in the cards. But the Bills are good. Really, Bama for life, same Mahomes still. I don't know. I disagree with you on that, bro. And we'll see what the Texans do too, man. They just signed Will to a hell of a deal, right? $130 million guaranteed, man. Let's see. Todd says Lanning is a solid coach with Saban ties. Yeah, another part of that tree. And I don't know if he was ever in contention for that Bama job, right? We'll never know like the truth. I don't know if it was ever like put out to light that Lanning was really in consideration for this job or not. We don't know that. Of course, they're going to say he wasn't, but who knows? I think who was really in contention was actually Mike Norvell. Could you imagine? What if Mike Norvell would have came here? Man, crazy. I know, and we haven't even really touched on today in really on this program because it's the NFL draft, but man, Bama just paid DeBoer a ton of money. Everybody got paid. He had that Morgan Wallen concert and then, cash flush. What a brilliant idea. Just have him come 2 times a year. You can be able to pay everybody. What's up, XR? Appreciate you being here. It says no team would go undefeated in the SEC, but no SEC team would go undefeated in the Big Ten either. Let me think about that. I probably agree with that. Yeah. The top teams are good, but like the rest of 4 good teams, and then the rest of them are not. All right, the pick is in for the Houston Texans, and the Houston Texans So did the Texans – I guess the Texans traded – yeah, I think the Texans traded. So the Texans traded up to 26, and they have drafted – it looks like they got a guard. I think that's the first guard that they got off the board in the first round. Most of them have been tackles. And now the 49ers are up at 27. Okay, so it looks like the Texans went to 26. Uh-oh. We got some trades going on because it looks like the it looks like the Dolphins are in at 27. Okay, how about this? Do you guys think that late in the draft, maybe Jeremy Bernard could sneak in? Okay, how about does Jeremy sneak off in the first round? All right, so we got, coming up at pick. All right, so it looks like we have a couple, some trades going on. It looks like the Dolphins will be next at 27. So the Dolphins up next. Earlier, the Dolphins picked Kaden Proctor, which I thought was a great deal, right? Speaking of the Dolphins, I have a question for you, all right, for you NFL fans, Don and someone else inside the comment box. What's going to happen with Cheetah? Dolphins are up next, by the way. What does he stay with the Dolphins? Will he be traded? Will he be healthy? Right? And I'm asking because I have him on my fantasy team that's a dynasty league. So Cheetah coming back, but what happens with him? Does he go somewhere else? Is it rumored that he's favored to go somewhere? Will he play again? I don't know. I mean, surely he's got to get healthy one more time. So Tyreek got cut, and basically he's just a free agent right now? Crazy. Man, I was wondering about him. I was like, what's going to happen with Cheetah? Ooh, Stowers could be right here. Man, Stowers to the Dolphins makes a lot of sense. Willow's saying that Tyreek ends up back in Kansas City. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, what's going to happen with him? All right, so it looks like the Dolphins are next. All right, cool. Thanks, fam. Thanks for the update on Tyreek. I was like, what happened with him? He's going to be a DJ. Hey, Travis, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Just hanging out for the late night crew. Everyone's got jokes on Tyreek. Man. Eagles love Bama players. Oh, for sure. Remember, you know what? There was a time where Washington was the Commanders, right? Where they were just taking all sorts of guys from Bama. Which team has the most Bama guys in the NFL? There for a while, it seemed like Washington was getting all of them. The Eagles have done a great job picking up Bama guys. That's a good question. All right, the Dolphins up next. Looks like the pick is in for the Dolphins. Pick is in for the Dolphins. Previously, they picked up Kaden Proctor. Who's next? I don't know. We'll find out next. All right. We are waiting on the Dolphins pick. Let's see what we got here. And by the way, if you didn't see, it's Dan Caraway's birthday, so wish him a happy birthday inside the comment box. Travis is saying I don't really watch the NFL, but loves all the Bama players at Philadelphia. All right, here's the Dolphins. Let's see what they got. Chris Johnson, cornerback, San Diego State. All right. Do we have any Aztec fans here? Anyone from San Diego? Anyone from the 619? I used to have a lot of family that lived in San Diego. I loved it out there, man. I used to live in Los Angeles, and so I go down to San Diego frequently. So I was always up in the 619. I even had some family that lived down in Chula Vista there for a little while. All right, let's see what we got here. The Dolphins. We good on the graphic? All right, looks like the Bills are up next. So we got the Bills coming up next. And I guess the 49ers were traded back. All right. All right, Steve saying he was born in San Diego. Oh, San Diego's so beautiful, right? Man, I haven't traveled in a while. Going down to Mobile here on May 1, May 2nd for golf. But, man, I haven't been out west in a minute. Man, I might have to stand up for the rest of the show. All right. Let's go into stand-up mode. Yeah, that was a weird trade up for. I don't know. You trade up for Chris Johnson. I don't know. All right. So we got, how many picks do we have? So we have the Patriots who are up next. Looks like the Patriots at 28. No, they keep on trading on the back end. Yeah, so we have the Patriots who traded up as well. I'm going to go full screen real quick so I can I need to stand up. I've been sitting for how long have we been streaming? Oh, man. 2:45? And I've been sitting this whole time? No wonder why I can't feel my legs. All right, here we go. Oh, man. Feels good to stand. All right, let's see. There we go. Oh. Okay, so the Patriots have picked up an offensive tackle. All right. So another offensive tackle. Is that the fifth offensive tackle? I think that's the fifth offensive tackle that we've had off the board, right? All right. So the pick is in, and that is an offensive tackle from Utah. Yo, is that the second tackle from Utah? Wow, Utah had 2 tackles go in the first round. That's impressive. Oh, Don, I was just going to say that, man. I don't know where Mike Vrabel is, but he's probably not going to be talking. All right, 7 offensive tackles. Do we have that graphic of the offensive tackle board? Can we put that after this graphic? Yeah, just like slide it after this graphic. Wow, 7 offensive tackles. That is amazing. And 2 tackles from Utah. It's amazing. Go full screen so you guys can see it. It looks like, so we got the Chiefs next. Okay. Man, there was a lot of trading there for a minute. Where are the, let's go for that tackle board. Yeah, wow. Look at all these tackles, family. Kaden Proctor, one of them. Utah had 2 of them. Shoot. Wow. A lot of good tackles on the board. Okay, so couple more to go. And we got the Chiefs coming up next. And the pick, looks like the pick is in for the Chiefs. All right. Oh, man. Woof. Maybe we could just cut Wake Up Bama now. Do it like a 2-1. We could just talk about. We could do like if we did Wake Up Bama live. We could talk clearly Ty. We could talk clearly Kaden. We could talk, Bama in the NFL and what it still means, right? We could talk about development under DeBoer, right? Man, you look to, okay, so all these tackles going off the board tonight, right? And Don brings up a really good point, is like, and let me ask you a question, and you be serious, okay? All right. So, and you guys be straight with me. You guys don't have to answer right now. But we've had all these tackles go into the NFL in the first round tonight. All our top guys off the board. When you look to Alabama football, do we have this caliber of tackles coming into the 2026 season? If this is kind of like the gold standard, do we have gold standard tackles right now? If we played this Saturday, do we have gold standard offensive tackles? I'm going to say no. And I'm a really big fan of Jackson Lloyd. I'm a really big fan of him. Limited experience. I want to get excited about Javen James. I do. I don't know if I'm there yet, though. I have more confidence in a guy that really doesn't have any playing time more than a guy that played quite a bit at Mississippi State, to be honest. Now, if you put Michael Carroll at tackle, yeah, we might have a gold standard tackle. But he's playing guard for a reason, right? So I just think it's interesting to kind of bring that up, is like, these are the tackles, and do we have gold standard tackles? I don't know. I would say no right now, right? Okay, Chiefs, looks like they're up next, and then we have a couple more picks. Dennis is saying that we do have them. So it looks like Chiefs, Niners, Bills, and Seahawks, all right? See the Chiefs pick. Do we have any Chiefs fans? Jennifer says, I think Ty Simpson is sponsored by Alo. Is that how to say it? Alo? Aloe. Is it Aloe? I don't know if I really like that brand. I'm just going to come out and say, I'm not. I don't know. It looks kind of like it looks too like robotic, like sweatsuit robotics. I don't know. It feels like I'm gonna get like in a space shuttle when I put on something like. I don't have any of that of aloe. Aloe to me is like aloe, like a plant. All right, Chiefs. Chiefs are going with Peter Woods. Okay. Hey, I think this is a good pick. I think this is a good pick. This might be one of the more interesting picks here on this back section for sure. I like the Casey Concepcion pick, and I like this Peter Woods pick. Yeah, I like those picks. Peter Woods, yeah? All right, looks like the 49ers up next. We a fan of this pick? Do we have any Chiefs fans up in here? Here's kind of the back end right here of the draft. I'll go to here's round 1 if you're just tracking it. Fernando, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, 1, 2, and 3. And then picks 11 through 21, Caleb Downs, Kaden Proctor, Ty Simpson at 11, 12, and 13. And then here we are in the back with Peter Woods just being drafted from Clemson going to KC. And Gelato has Javen James as a kind of a 4th-round pick right now. Thanks, Gelato. Good to see you, by the way, on the show. All right. Let's see. Dennis says you're talking about Michael Carroll for the tackle. Hey, Chason, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here, man. Said, let's go, dude. I told y'all better results showed. Dude carried his team most of the year. All right. Who are you talking about, Chason? And what's up, man? Thanks for rolling through, by the way. Okay. So, looks like the Jets are at 30. So, I guess the 49ers are not in the first round. So, the Jets... the Jets and the pick is in. I don't know. The Jets are going to load up. Let's see who the Jets get. Any picks? They got Mansour Delane and no, I'm sorry. They didn't get Mansour Delane. Who did the Jets get? The Jets got Sadiq, right? And then they got David Bailey. They got good picks so far. Jets up next. Looks like the pick is in. All right, so the Jets with the 3rd pick in the first round. I see you, Chasen. Chasen, you're talking about Ty? Yeah. Happy for him, right? Good to see you, man. Okay. The Jets. Let's see what we got. Ooh, family. Omar Cooper Jr. I like this pick. I think the Jets did a good job in the first round, family. Omar Cooper Jr., we know all about him. He's a wide receiver from Indiana. They had 3 of them. All of them were good. Do you guys like this pick? So we have Omar Cooper Jr., Indiana, going 30 to the Jets. So the Jets, they've had 3 picks tonight in the first round. And their first pick was David Bailey out of Texas Tech. Their second pick was Kenyon Sadiq, okay? And their third pick was Omar Cooper from Indiana, all right? So we'll go full screen on the board so you can see picks 22 through 32. I think this is a good pick. How would you go? Are we happy with the Jets? I don't even know if we have any Jets. I think we did have a Jets. Someone likes the Jets inside the comment box. No, these are good picks. Yeah, I think they did a good job. So do we have the Bills up next? Okay. So you got the Bills and then the Seahawks. Oh, man. Let's see who we got with the Bills and the Seahawks. I don't know what the Bills need. Bills are good. I'm thinking defense for the Bills, and then for Seattle, maybe offense, I guess. That's what I'm thinking. Bills are so good, man. I don't know who they're good. Do we have any Bills fans up in here? Man, I think Peter Woods is a good pick here on the back end. I like Omar Cooper. I think that was good. I think Casey Concepcion. Don't really know about. Maybe the edge rusher out of Miami. I don't know about the Chris Johnson pick out of San Diego State. That's an interesting one to me. All right. Don is saying that the Jets stole Cooper from the Bills. Maybe so, man. All right, the Bills. The pick is in for the Bills. All right, so we got the pick is in for the Bills. We got 2 more picks in the first round. All right. Let's see what we got. And again, thank you. Before you go to bed, rest your head. Thank you so much for kicking it with us tonight. I really, really appreciate it. It's been fun. I hope you guys have had a really good and enjoyable show on, our NFL draft coverage. I'm not going to lie. I really like this setup. The neon, the black, and look at this. This is cool. All right, so the pick is in for the Bills. Oh, no, it's the Titans. It's the Titans. Oh, my goodness. We got a trade, and the pick is in for the Titans, okay? So there's a trade, and we got the Titans now. The Titans need, I don't know. You know what? I keep on saying Stowers. Yeah, Bills just traded, and you got the Titans now picking. What if Stowers, hear me out, what if Stowers just stays in Tennessee and goes and plays for the Titans? That would be a really good pick. I don't know. Here's the pick for the Titans. This is the trade. We thought it was the Bills. Now it's the Titans. Here we go. Pick is in for the Titans. $320,000 people at the draft? Did he just say 320,000 people? What the? Where? Kedrick Falk from Little Brother U. Huh. Kedrick Falk, Little Brother U. All right, so we have one more pick, and that is going to be, I guess, they're showing the 49er icon, but I think we'll just get to Seattle, right, and then start day 2 with the Niners. So Falk, edge rusher from Auburn. I don't really remember him in the Iron Bowl. I have to go back and, if I watch it and kind of remember him. I don't remember Falk. But Auburn always has a salty defense. I mean, that's just who they are. The problem with them is their offense. I mean, last year they just couldn't catch the ball. They moved the ball, and actually Ashton Daniels is a good quarterback. I think he's a fine quarterback. I think he'll be good for Florida State. Just his wide receivers didn't catch the ball when they played Bama, right? Auburn's always had a good defense. And I'm sure that, you know what? And like real talk, Alex Golesh is a good football coach. I've always thought he was a good football coach when he was at South Florida. They should have kept Gus Malzahn. They thought they could do better. You've seen how things have fallen off the tracks there, right? All right, so it looks like do we have one more pick? All right, so it looks like we got one more pick, and that's going to be Seattle. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us too. Thank you very much. And I guess we'll go heavy, and we'll still have a Wake Up Bama that goes out tomorrow morning. So I'm going to end the broadcast after we get the picks, and then I'm going to cut the podcast. Unless you guys want to stay up late with me, and we'll cut the podcast live. So it could be like some after content stuff. You guys let me know. You don't have to. But, we got to do the podcast. The work has to be done. All right, so waiting on the next pick to close out the NFL draft. All right, and then we'll go back. We'll recap the draft real quick, and then we'll close it out. So we got one more pick, and we got Seattle, who is now on the clock. And it looks like the pick is in for the Seahawks. All right, family. Do we still have all right, Seahawks. Is this the last pick, or do we still have two more picks? Are you sure? Because they're showing 49ers and Arizona on there. Okay, so the Seahawks pick is in. Look, the Seahawks, it's always interesting to think about the Seahawks, okay? And covering Alabama football, we have to talk about the real, what. I felt that Ryan Grubb was underwhelming here. We've talked about that a million times. They fire him, and the next year they win the Super Bowl? Like, is it coincidental? Or was it, completely different? I don't know. So it's always interesting to think about that. But when I watched Seattle play last year, look, they have offensive weapons. But where they really stood out to me, they pounded the rock for sure. They have really big, imposing running backs, right? But where Seattle stood out to me was their defense. Seattle's defense was fantastic, okay? They came after the quarterback. They played elite defense in the secondary. Josh Jobe, baller, right? So I don't know what Seattle does right here. This is a great football team, really good football coach, tough to beat. Man, just dealing with these guys, watching the 49ers having to deal with the Seahawks, these guys are going to come with it. They beat the what out of the Niners in the playoffs. It wasn't even close. They turned into a buzzsaw, and that was it. Let's see what the Seattle Seahawks do. Really, really good club right now. Running back? I don't know, man. They're still loaded. Let's see what you guys ever been to Seattle? Interesting place, huh? All right, here's the pick with the Seahawks. Okay, see what they got. This guy's pumping up the crowd. See, see his blue blazer? Yeah, I like that blue. It's like a midnight. Yeah. Okay, let's see what Seattle does. They won't get Jeremy. Maybe the Niners will get Jeremy Bernard tomorrow. That's probably how it'll work. Tomorrow I'll be at watching Lacey's show, and the 49ers will pick Jeremy. Yeah, let's go. Ugh, this dude's pumped up. Yeah. This dude's fired up. He's just going crazy. He's loving it. Oh, Jadarian Price, a running back. Someone called that. Who called that? Chuck, did you know that? Wow. You know what? That makes sense. So, Jadarian Price, there's 2 running backs taken in the first round, right? Jeremiah, right, was the first one. And then you have Jadarian picked here by Seattle. 5'10". I think he fits their system really well. Wow, that's a nice pick right there by the Seahawks. Jadarian Price, someone called it inside the comment box. So 2 running backs go, both from Notre Dame. Really good pickup. Wow. Like it. Okay, let's recap day 1 of the NFL draft, all right? Deadly Beast, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here, bro. Oh, Seattle's squad is, it's so tough, man. So tough. 100%. Okay, so the NFL draft rewind. First pick, you had Fernando Mendoza, as expected, going to the Raiders. Thought it was a really good pick, really good quarterback. That's just what they need, clearly. They have pieces, right? Ashton Daniels, now they have Brock Bowers. I mean, the pieces are in place for the Raiders to make a little bit of movement, right? The Jets, I thought they did a good job in the NFL draft. They had 3 picks in the draft. David Bailey out of Texas Tech. You had the Cardinals going with Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. Thought that was a great pick. How could you argue against that? Other things that stood out in picks 1 through 10, I guess the fact that Ohio State had 3 guys going, right? And the amount of offensive tackles tonight, they were flying off the board. I think we had 7 in total. For Alabama's sake, picks 11, 12, and 13 were very interesting because you had the Dallas Cowboys picking up Caleb Downs, who started his career at the University of Alabama before going to Ohio State. Then you had Kaden Proctor going at 12, and then you had Ty Simpson going at 13. And the great thing about Proctor and Ty Simpson is that I think they go to places where it definitely makes sense for them. And I think specifically for Ty, and this will be something that I really highlight on Wake Up Bama tomorrow, is I think that that's a perfect program that he can go and really develop and be the quarterback that we think he can be, right? He's going behind a veteran quarterback. They have good weapons, and they have a good defense, right? You didn't want him to go to the Jets. I know there was a lot of talk about the Cardinals, but he eventually finds himself out west. And the thing about it is he bet on himself, right? Because $6.5 million to go to Tennessee or to Miami or wherever it was, he knew he was going to be a first-round pick. He bet on himself, and he won tonight. Other things that stood out from picks 11 to 21, I think that Kenyon Shadiq, right, out of Oregon, going to the Jets, I thought that was a really good pick as well, something that stood out. And then you guys told me that Mekhi Lemon, good replacement for A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown looks like he's, according to you guys, going to go to New England. So like that pick at number 20. On the back end of the NFL draft, there was a lot of trading kind of as we worked towards the end of that draft, but really good pickup by the Browns getting Casey Concepcion, and now makes for a nice trio with Jerry Jeudy and Isaiah Bond and some of the other weapons that they have. Like the pick of the Chiefs getting Peter Woods there at number 29. That could work out pretty well for them. Omar Cooper Jr., pretty good pickup from Indiana for the Jets. And then to end the NFL draft on night 1 is you have the Seattle Seahawks getting Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame, another running back. So 2 running backs, both from Notre Dame. And, one of them ends up at Seattle, the defending Super Bowl champs, which is going to be tough to beat once again because they run the ball, right? Well, I hope you guys had a good show. And there's a lot that goes into it. So thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. I really, really appreciate you guys' support so much, and thank you for supporting PrizePicks, who's our sponsor. But you guys, the super chats go hard, and I appreciate it. And you guys are very generous to me tonight, and I really, really appreciate that. So I put a lot into every single thing that I do because I want you guys to have a great product, and my standards are really high. I'm not going to lie. Like, every time I step onto the platform, they're high. Like, every single thing that I do, I want to do it at the highest level. You guys deserve that, and thank you very much for your time. I really, really support it. I really appreciate it, rather. So thank you so much. I hope you guys sleep well, and you guys will Wake Up Bama 4 in the morning tomorrow, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Get rest, say your prayers, stay close to God, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow right here on Bama Football on YouTube. From beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, your boy, Kyle Henderson. Good night. Sleep tight. We out.